Prepare for teleport!
Welcome to Warmonger 17. This is the World Eaters, long-awaited World Eaters episode. With me tonight, second last episode of all the Legionary episodes, and then who knows what? Who knows what'll happen after that? Who knows? With me tonight is the most prolific World Eater player I know, because there's not that many people around playing World Eaters. Not to challenge his sovereignty of World Eaters at all, but not only has he been playing World Eaters since the start, also I've probably talked to this person every single day in the last fucking since the game came out about World Eaters. So you may remember him from his work with Macca on the Outer Circle, or from his solo project Cat's Viral Sensation, or you may have seen him in his secret dual acting, real life acting job. Maybe you've seen him there. Who knows?
Calm down, Kim. You're gonna get me cancelled.
Or you may just remember him from when you blocked him and didn't think about him again. But it's Kat. How are you, Kat?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Good. Yeah,
Excellent.
The old Outer Circle gig's going pretty good. We're laundering money through buying 3D printers and then selling them as second hand. It's a pretty good scam.
Whoa.
When are we recording anyway?
We already started. Okay, well, I'll edit that out later, but cool, excellent, good. Yeah, we recorded the other day. And by the other day I mean two sleeps ago, I think. About all the Terminators, different Terminators.
Yes, on the Outer Circle. Yeah, that went for a good while. 3 hours. It's pretty good.
Nice casual 3 or 4 hour stream. Was it only 3 hours? Felt like 4 hours.
It's probably closer to 4 hours, but also there was the startup as well, which takes a bit.
Felt like 4. Yeah,
good times.
Yeah,
terrific.
That was a good episode. I'll put a link in the show notes to that, because if you're into the meta, basically Liam, myself on one team versus Macca and Darcy on the other team, and then Kat was adjudicating. So he had final call if there was any real tough fighting over a certain placing of some shit or whatever. I don't think you had to step in that much. But I think...
No, not really. But it is... I think it's so subjective, and there's so many different things, and depending on the criteria that you are rating things in, they can get really muddied. Does the cool factor outweigh the power capability, or does it bring up their crappy power capability? Sure didn't for the Red Butchers. In the bin. Unironically, in the bin.
Yeah. I do have some notes for you though, as you're an actor. I think you should totally turn your role as the adjudicator into a full on a character, because I think it would speed along things, in those TV shows like Ally McBeal or fucking Matlock or whatever. There's always just there's the trope of the no fuck around judge who's just come on. I think you need to be one of those judges.
Cat Judy, right? And I'd be wrong. You do not get no custody of the
Cat Judy.
Cat Judy, yeah. She's the hardest judge.
I thought you said Cat Judy. I'm whoa.
Who's the harder judges than Judge Judy, dude?
Judge Joe Brown? No, isn't there... There was one where the judge was a midget, wasn't there? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh
boy, I'm so glad we're not recording yet. Oh.
What? Sorry to say midget, bro.
At
least I'm not Macca on the Outer Circle dropping the R-bomb every 5 seconds. And then when we're hey, you can't drop the R-bomb, and then he starts to drop in it more. Like, hey, what?
Yeah, in the sense of an engine, my good lord, or whatever he said.
He went full fucking Kramer with it.
Went full Boeing 747 when it's readying to land. 30 feet, 20 feet, 10.
But yeah, I think you need to be like, first of all, so number one, you need to get a gavel for sure. Like, get Maka to 3D print you a gavel, like a sweet gavel.
But I can put that on the screen. I can actually probably make that an animation.
Clack. Yeah. But we need to be able to hear it though, because like
okay, yeah, right.
Because the problem is when you play your sound effects, none of us, except for you and the audience, can hear it. So we don't know when we're being farted over and shit. So we got no fucking idea.
No, so that's part of the fun though, right? Because when you go, it's like I couldn't, and you get messages. I couldn't hear what you were saying. Cat was just making fart noises over here. Yeah. Which, to be fair, that is, in my day job, that's 80% of acting done, or at least that's how I approach it anyway. Yeah,
there you go. But and then the other thing is you need to have like a swingy chair. Like, your chair wasn't swingy enough. Like, if you watch like the fucking fast judges, they'll have like a swingy chair and a gavel. And I don't know if you can get some sort of black cloak or something like that. That'd be cool. That'd add to the part.
Easy enough.
But or some sort of official hat or chain. A chain. That'd be cool. The big medallion that says Adjudicator.
Well, I was using a 22mm lens, and that's a pretty closed-in space. I was trying to stay into frame.
Yeah, I think
and give people my reaction of your crazy bickering over Terminators. Leader added really good contrast into that, though, I think.
Yeah, you just need to add some production value to like your little screen, so that like people like they see our like moving faces or whatever, and they can see what's being argued over. But then when they look closer, they're like, "Wait, there's a whole like judge show or something going on in there with like a cat in a costume."
Yeah, that is a good point. And I could put like a bench, and I could put the defense and the whoever else isn't the defense. Who is that? I don't know. Would it be a defense and a whoever the defense is? But anyway, yeah, I could put a little bench and have you behind the bench and stuff. Yeah, could do that. Could reenact the...
Sounds like a little work there, but yeah. Like,
could reenact that stupid court case they had with Kurz and Gilliman and stuff, dude. And someone can play as Gilliman and stuff, and Kurz using that Marine's hand to wave at the Marine that he cut the hand off. What was that? Anyway, we're not here to talk about the judicial system of the 30k novels, which just seems to be fan fiction at this point. We're here to talk about war something.
About preparing for Terra part and legionnaires. Yeah. So, you've been playing World Eaters. You've been running them. You ran them at Anzac Cup, for example.
Are we getting rid of, like, we're not here to talk about version 1 or version 1.5? No.
You want to talk about a version 1.5?
Well, I had run them in version 1.
Take us back to the very earliest thing you can think of when I say World Eater.
Book 3, I believe, was out at that time, 2013. I was in Melbourne. Macca came over, and he was making a Corax commission with the heavy bolter, because I think Forge World gave him the
like at your
thing
house.
Without wings or something.
Like at your house.
We were having a game, and that's the miniature he brought over. Like, what, you can play with the miniatures before you sell them. I had like 40 World Eaters Terminators, and just mobbed Corax. Just ripped every feather out of his body. He did not survive long in that combat. Now in 2.0, that would probably go a lot different. And then I just put him away. Put him away for a long time. But now we're back. I was making this army for 1.5, and I wanted to run them with the Newman gun clans.
Yeah. And
have World Eaters as a supplemental force in there, like the Shock Assault Force, but have big guns going off. And Forge World, Games Workshop now, right? They're the ones in charge of it. Screwed me over, or screwed that plan over, and now I've had to reorg a little bit. So I maintained the rage, as it were.
Yeah.
And the current army is 3 units of 15 assault marines. I've magnetized the jump packs on them, so I can run them as despoilers.
Yeah.
For ZM, if there's ZM, it's something that's a small little upgrade that you can do that gives a lot more versatility to the army. Because doing that, you can either run them as spoilers in whatever games, right? It's just,
exactly. Yeah.
If
you want to run them in ZM, yeah, like you don't want to have them as jump troops in ZM, right? Like that's just.
Oh, you could. I probably would now, anyway.
Oh, really?
Quick game's a good game. Just run them into a wall.
I don't think there's any penalty for just jumping around either. So I
think it's the difficult terrain. But I haven't played any ZM actually, so I've never needed to take off the. ZM's a little bit different now.
You have to get practice in for the Kumite for the the world title.
Yes, that's a mysterious event that I heard you're printing a venue for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
That'll take a bit, I think.
Yeah, as I said, I've got 166,000 liters of printer stuff coming. Whatever that thing runs on. Printer reel.
Yep.
Printer energon cubes or whatever the fuck. Man, imagine if they did print with energon cubes and they could print matter. And they could just print anything. That'd be sick.
Well, they do print houses. They're like big printers, but it's not a tiny boy. It's a big thing.
Yeah, it's like a trolley. It just drives around, just dropping like cement turds.
It'd be sick.
I think it's gonna be that great. Like, it's not fucking reinforced or anything. Like, how do you get reinforcing? There's no robot that drops reinforcing. You're just making an unreinforced cement structure. Doesn't seem interesting. But okay, yeah. Anyway, so and then you decided for some reason that second edition, even though after reading the rules, where World Eaters lost the most, possibly out of a lot of the legions. Like,
sorry, wait, lost what? Sorry.
Well, they lost they no longer have rage. They no longer have AP.
Oh, I say rules wise. Sorry, I thought we were talking about members in the fluff. They did lose a lot of members, but easy come, easy go.
Oh yeah, they definitely lost like they. They're probably fucking award winners for taking the most casualties, especially when the Iron Hands slam that moon into Bod and just kill, think about how much staff and infrastructure and shit and people that they would have lost at Bod. It's like
artifacts.
Artifacts,
Titans,
Legion relics
from Legion Audax, and so much.
Oh, so much. Dark day for the World Eaters. But they don't give a fuck though. They the ones who aren't fucking pulverized by a moon destroying the planet they're on. Just keep going to Terra and just fucking maintain the rage.
Yeah, that's it. It's all about maintaining the rage. Unfortunately, the rules don't give you rage, which is kind of a downer.
Oh, they pseudo give you rage, I think. So rage is probably the only rule. It's funny you say maintain the rage, because rage is the only rule they did maintain, basically. The +1 attack on the charge, which is basically rage. It's just not rage. I don't know. You could just say they have rage, I guess. Or rage 1. But they lost a lot of stuff. Like, they used to be really fearsome last edition with having hatred. Through their Rite of War, that through Berserker Assault, you could make them fucking terrifying maniacs. Interesting. And then you were one of the first pioneers of Deep Strike Assault, but you didn't raid it.
Yeah, well, initially I read the rules wrong and I thought it was the old stuff. So
you couldn't assault. You didn't think you could assault from Deep Strike?
No, I think that was one of the huge changes, and it's just wow, that's pretty good. But I was still thinking of the staggering of units. It's not like the whole army comes in on the first turn, so that first unit comes down, and then you roll your d6 on a 1. It's a mishap, and then your opponent can move it. Is it 18 inches from that point?
No, that's totally wrong. No. So the first unit you just scatter, and wherever they land, boom, that's cool. If there's any more shit, then you roll a d6.
You got to roll your d6.
Yeah. The first unit doesn't. It only scatters the once. And if you have a Nuncio Vox, you can re-roll that scatter. So
I've definitely added one of those in there.
Out of 20, probably I've done about 20 teleport attacks, and only once.
Yeah, I only teleport now. I only teleport. There's no point in just running across the board. I may as well just get it over and done with. and get up in their face.
You need to have some shit on the table there, right? Like, because you...
Yeah, well, if you want to have a game, yeah. If not, it's a real easy loss. And you can just move on to the next one.
My army just stays in reserve. And they're like, so are we rolling? And you're like, no, I'm just going to stay in reserve. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm just not going to play this game. I'm going to go to the bar, get some fresh air. I think you should as well. You've been playing too much Heresy. And you're like, this is the first game, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I do deep strike them now all the time.
Okay.
And with my second HQ, I've got the G'd up HQ as well with 190 points worth of war gear, power, Thunderhammer correction with a lightning claw to get the +1 attack.
That's a pro move.
Praetor as well.
Yeah.
Even though I think Praetors are pretty big, they're not supposed to be at company level organizing stuff. I just imagine that because World Eaters were very much on the physical strength and attributes of leadership, that their higher leaders would be, or even mid ranks, mages, stuff like that. They would be that powerful. And I liked giving him the old warlord trait of eating people, blood hunger. Every model that he kills in close combat, he gets a wound back up to, I want to say 7, right? I think it's 7.
Is it +4 above or something like that? Oh, we'll get to it in a minute. In a minute.
No, not blood hunger. Cloaked in blood. All right, yeah, we'll get to it in a minute. It's the one where he eats people, anyways.
Yeah.
I think Butcher's Claw is the better one now. But anyways,
but what? Okay, so it gives him temporary wounds, right? Yeah. So you just got this like totally fucking monster.
Not temporary wounds. He just gains them back.
Well, he gains them back, and then he can go above as well. So he gains some extra wounds like above.
Yeah, but it's Heresy, so he's going to get instant killed anyway.
I just get destroyed by Thunderhammer, yeah.
But my HQ, which is very questionable because I'm rocking mid to late Heresy white-red World Eaters, which you can check out on Cat's Viral Sensation. There is a German dude that does it as well. Her Pom. I did it first. Don't listen to the lies. He's pretty good. He's got an actual...
Oh, her Poom.
Her Poom.
You're talking about Poom. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the Poom. Yeah, his stuff's pretty good too.
Poom stuff is impeccable.
Yeah, absolutely. And
some impeccable German
everything that he does, I go a different direction because I don't want to copy his stuff. But yeah, so there are other mid to late Heresy World Eaters out there. There is a quote that maybe I just made up. Who knows? Could be in a novel somewhere. But if there's only 2 types of red and white World Eaters, and that's early Heresy or Loyalists. So yeah, take that to the bank or wherever you're going to go with that information. I don't think the bank would like that. But anyways, my second HQ, very kind of
confusing.
I love it because it's a great build, and it feels wrong. And I keep asking people, yo, is this build good? Not good. Is it legal, right? Because it still feels like I'm breaking the rules.
Yeah.
So I have a Master of Signals.
Yeah.
With a jump pack.
Yeah.
And a Mimesis bolt gun.
Does he start on the table?
Yes, he starts on the table. He's got a 72-inch range. Of course he's starting on the table. I don't put him with stuff because he's buffing ballistic skill in my army.
Because he has a Nuncio Vox, you need that to reroll to scatter. That's key.
Yes,
that's key.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely key. And he can pin units, not very effectively, but it has happened in the past. He can do a lot of stuff. Reroll your scatter.
Just fucking hunt men for spot.
Late game he can contest or...
Hey, remember that you're a Game of Thrones person, are you?
No, dabble.
Have you ever read the graphic novel Dunk and Egg series?
Negative.
Okay. There's like a there's at some point in the history of Westeros, there was 3. I think it was there's these 3 Targaryen princes, and one's like a mega swordsman, and one's like a mega lance dude, and one's like a mega bowman, And yeah, and I was just thinking of that Bowman guy, because he's such a fucking, because he rides around on this horse in full plate mail, also with just a longbow, just sniping people, like characters, just being like, "Oh, Sir Ivor of Murray," and just like fucking headshots him with like a fucking like a warbow. Yeah, that's what I think of with a guy like that, right? Because he's just like, they're like, because that one of the best things about World Eaters for me is the way Khorne is always just like, oh shit, just like running around after Angron, just being like, oh shit, we're gotta fucking make sure we do this right, like, like whenever Angron is just like, I'm gonna fucking go fucking wreck some shit, and then just starts running off down a corridor, Khan's just like, oh shit, he's gonna launch like a full assault. We need to make sure, send down the fucking, send down Legion fucking recon, and send down some dudes that know what the fuck they're doing, like comms guys, to like guide the Legion in, right? Because otherwise you're just fucking throwing fucking idiots down onto a planet, which is like, although in the fluff, that's, in the fluff, like they love to portray the World Eaters as just being like totally fucking dumb fuck. There was definitely guys such as Khorne in the Legion who had their shit together, and they would have enough to be like, okay, remember how we used to be really good at assaulting planets because we followed this fucking like these instructions? Let's do that, right? Am I right? I don't know,
man. I think Khorne, and it's a controversial point. I don't like using name characters because they kind of get away from my own style. I like to have very stylistic armies, whereas this one's very jump pack heavy. And my new army, because I don't like they're just not berserk. Even with the berserker Rite of War, it's just not berserkery enough. They're running away. I need that HQ with the sniper rifle, the Master of Signals, to be able to use his leadership test, because there's mimesis and just morale checks in general. You're just failing them a lot more now than you used to be, and it sucks. And then because the jump packs units don't have Vexillas, they run off the board, so they don't just hit an invisible wall now. And you can't upgrade them, so I have to have that Master of Signals there to buff leadership tests as well, which sucks. So I'm going to go, my new army is going to be, I'm going to make 40 freaking rampages, I think. I'm looking at 40. I had 30. 40. I was just like, I could make 32, so that way I can either run 4 squads of 8 or 3 squads of 10.
Yeah.
But now I'm just going to make 40, like 40 rampage. Give them all the swords, the phalanx blades, my good lord.
Phalanx blades, yeah. What about
Phalanx blades? How does that make them rendering 4? They're not even power weapons. They're just a slightly forward curved blade.
Yeah, they're Phalanx, bro.
Yeah, but it's just slightly forward curved. It makes no sense. Why would that be better?
They're Phalanx. I don't know. It's a superior cutting edge. That's all I know. It must be something.
It definitely is.
Like being rending 4 fucking plus, and it's not a powered fucking item. What is it made out of? Yeah, you're right. What the fuck are those blades supposed to be made out of? Like a they must go down to like a beyond monomolecular edge. Whoa, think about that. Beyond.
I'd imagine it's the same stuff they're making Mimesis.
Rending 4 plus means you're wounding a dreadnought. Like a Contemptor Dreadnought, or even a Leviathan. You're winning Leviathan on a 4+, or a Thanatar on a 4+. It's fucking aim shit. Imagine what that Phalanx blade is made of. Oh. An unpowered, just metal blade that can 4+ wound a fucking dread, with and it only gets a 5+ save.
Pretty weird. But I'm going to be using the.
I guess the draw of taking 40 of those dudes is pretty strong. But what about the whip? The whip. Come on, Cat. The whip. Make like 10 with whips.
The extra attacks. You need the extra attacks. The whip's not doing much other than that extra
30,
initiative.
10 with whips, 30 with Phalanx blades, and then you just mix them in.
I'm thinking about it.
Dude, the +1 initiative, and it's just flashbane, so you're going to get a ton of wounds, and it's running 5+. Oh, shit. We're talking rules. Okay, well, we should start talking about the rules anyway, because we're going to be talking about the rules. If we're going to talk about the rules, we should talk about the rules, as they say.
Definitely. I've heard that today, actually.
Exactly. So we only give away up to date information here on Warmonger.
So yeah, that's the freaking trait that they get is violence incarnate. So on every turn in which a unit with this special rule makes a successful charge, it gains +1 attack for the remainder of the turn in addition to any other bonuses, even if that charge is considered a disordered charge. So that's cool. That's a lot of other traits don't allow you to do it. You don't get the bonus if it's a disordered charge, whereas World Eaters do. But that's it. That's all you get. That's all you're getting. So if they survive that combat, you're screwed. You're freaking screwed. And they're probably going to be better at combat than you for some freaking reason.
Yeah. All right. Well, you fucking you started the rules without me, but first of all, I'm just going to tell people. So what we're going to do is go through the rules. First of all, talk about the Legion rule, which Kat just talked about. Spoiler alert.
Violence incarnate.
It's +1 attack when you charge, whether it's disordered or not, doesn't matter. Then we're going to talk about the Warlord traits. We're going to talk about the extra equip. Then we're going to talk about special units, including the Red Hand Destroyer, Assault Destroyer guys from the Legion Exemplary battles. And then their special reaction, spoiler alert. I wonder, do you think it'll be A, one where you get to shoot twice and gets hot, or one where you get to just assault the enemy? It's a good question. And then the last one is we'll finish off with the Rites of War. So, as Kat said, +1 attack on the charge, even if it's a disordered charge. Boom, done. Nothing for vehicles is what I would... The thing that I find strange is there's nothing for vehicles, right? Like, shouldn't it like,
no,
Blood Angels
I don't mind that. I really don't mind it, especially since
vehicles.
They seem to be going more mid to late heresy anyway, and by this point, even though people want to have a cry about it, Angron, before his ascent, after Isfahan 5 happened, Angron said, which is in Book 5, Book 6, he says, get out of your vehicles and get some close combat training because you need to engage with the enemy. And they did have a lot of Mechanicum and Newman gun clans from their world. I think they were from the old 100 actually, because they were on the 13th Crusade thingy, not Crusade, but the group of Carnival of Carnage, I believe it was called, during the Crusade era. So they had those guys to man their tanks. I'm guessing they would have just interesting stuff that you could do with that as well, adding Imperial Militia or Solar Rocks, whatever they want to call them at this point, to the army. But unfortunately, some of the Rites of War don't allow you to take any allies, so that's kind of stupid. Maybe they should have done something with that to have Mechanicum, Sarah Mechanicum or something, or Newman gun clans, or having both, having the capability to mix and match some crappy units. But whatever.
They just stuff their fucking all their tanks and shit with good old fashioned servitors, and then
that'd be cool too.
Continue on as before, like just
-1 ballistic skill, but they get blades or something on it, or
just keep the same rules. Just fucking why complicate it? Turns out servitors are BS4 as well. Once you put extra scopes on them and bionic enhancements, see, so like that way you can just use them and you don't have to worry about.
How is that a rule though?
It's not a rule. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it, Kat. Because unless
that's exactly what they've gone with. Because they've just been like, give them 1+1 attack. Let's move on.
No ramming.
Terrific.
But there you go. That's a way you can get around it in your own head and allow you to take vehicles as before, like Land Raiders and shit. You just won't get any fucking bonus. All right. I just find it strange because they're meant to be just like aggro motherfuckers, and I imagine that even before they started worshipping Khorne, they were still aggressive drivers. So it just...
So it was like that bus driver from Happy Gilmore or something? Is that how you imagine their freaking
aggressive drive? No, like just go to the subreddit public freakout and just people.
Banned from Reddit, bro. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Court order.
drivers on there. Okay, so +1 attack on the charge. Not terrible, but also not fucking huge. Like, let's get on to the next bit, which is the warlord traits. We'll see if any of this starts to make up for it. First warlord trait is called Blood Hunger. Can only be a trader guy. You gain a bonus wound whenever a melee attack that it has made causes an enemy model to be removed as a casualty. And then you can go no higher than 6 wounds. You have to declare a charge if you're within 12 inches of an enemy, but you can choose the thing. And you gain an extra reaction during the movement phase.
That's the one I've been using mainly.
Just eating people up?
I've been using. Yeah. And it doesn't really seem to affect you anyway. It's like, yeah, you're rocking around with 6 wounds. It's alright, but a power fist or a hammer or dreadnought can still instant kill you. So you're still living with that freaking fear. But if you're starting to chop stuff up, then you're probably getting what you want out of your character anyway. With the movement stuff, works really well. I have I have a handful of jet bikes, which work really well for my movement reactions to try and get away from units trying to get near them and stuff like that. So it works well for the jet bikes, that is.
Yeah, it's going to see it creeps.
That's what I've been using.
Yeah.
Then you got Cloaked in Blood. I don't know anyone who's in the cool kid World Eaters thing using this. Any model that doesn't have Legionary Astartes World Eaters special rule must reduce its leadership by -2 while locked in combat with the Warlord or any unit that includes this Warlord. In addition, an army whose Warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the opponent's movement phase as long as the Warlord has not been removed as a casualty. I've never seen anyone use this.
Yes, any model that does not have Legion Astartes, so it would work against Mechanicum, it would work against Custodes, funnily enough. And dropping their initiative.
Wow, you can kill Solar Rocks. Well,
but it works against Custodes. Dude, Custodes are stubborn. They're stubborn 10, right? But you drop them down to 8. Ooh. I don't think they're even 10. They might only be 9 Custodes. Oh, man. That could be interesting if there's lots of Custodes.
That seems like an oversight, actually. That's pretty funny.
What do you mean?
But it is only your Warlord, and he's going to die.
I believe it's cut and dry, sir.
Cut and dry of not moving it, right?
But that'd be pretty good. Like,
your leadership is huge in this edition, granted, but
that's like having fear too, but it was also stacked with fear as well. So if you could get fear in some other way into that unit or push down fear on them as well, you could get -3 like pretty easy. And then if you're deep striking with that, deep striking and then assaulting, you can be using it on a unit from like turn 2 when you become available, right? So interesting. It all depends on your meta. Like if everyone's just playing fucking Marines, then there's no point, right? But if you're meta, if you're a trader, a diehard trader, and you're slowly seeing lots of Mechanicum and Custodes just like creeping into Loyalist team because they're running out of actual Marines.
We misread. It's any model that does not have Legionary Astartes World Eater special rule must reduce its leadership. So they'll still have...
Oh, boom! Well, it works on everyone then.
It says World... Yeah, well, that's the way it's written. It says that does not have Legionary Astartes special rule. But it's in brackets, it says World Eaters. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your definition by brackets.
Yeah. Oh,
but yeah,
it's
-2 leadership. I don't know. Man. I don't know. It's just... Leadership is strong. And if you can...
Yeah, that's clear as day on that page now that we're looking at it. But I literally everyone I know has been playing it that way. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, the other way, like where it doesn't, as long as you're a Marine. That's weird. Maybe everyone's just been like maybe everyone's hallucinating or something.
Because it's just anyway. All right, whatever. That weird.
Does seem alright. I mean, is it as good as having like 6 wounds? I don't know.
It's just not stackable, and there's nowhere you're not really getting any negative leaderships from anywhere else. So it's just that. I guess it kind of it could work with a jetpack army, and you're not putting them in Tartarus Terminator army, and you can't chase dudes down because you want to be able to chase dudes down and kill them. But then again, it depends because of reactions and stuff like that. But maybe I just don't see why anyone would want to do it. If you had Night Lord allies and stuff with their leadership reduction capabilities, maybe. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Butcher's Claw though. Butcher's Claw. That's where it's at.
All right. So a warlord with this trait and all models in the same unit as him gain a bonus attack from Violence Incarnate special rule. So that means they'll be getting 3 attacks and bonus 3 attacks on the charge.
Well, there'd be bonus 2 instead of 1.
But you'll be getting.
You have your 1. You've got your normal 1 baseline of charging is 1. Yes. Yeah. Then you have your extra 1, and then you'll have your Butcher's Claw 1.
So plus 3 attacks. So that's 7 attacks off a. If you give him Falx Blades, I guess it's 8 attacks, right?
No, there's no way it's 8.
Yeah, because it's 4 base plus 3 7 for charging, and then your Falx Blades for plus 1 attack, which is pretty fucking sweet. Now it also, they also gain plus 1 strength for the remainder of that turn. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may make an additional reaction during the opposing player's assault phase. So you can get a free Overwatch or something like that. Or maybe, some other shenanigan.
Yeah, I don't really Overwatch that much with my assaulting army.
Hold the line, an extra
I have
extra
before,
hold
when I first started playing them, I was Overwatching with pistols. And then I was just... Or correction, I was using my pistols before I was assaulting. It's a bad decision, especially if you're charging something that can overwatch you, that's got, 20 las cannons, for example. Yeah, you just don't... Bolters for show. Bolt pistols for show. That is definitely... Don't use them in most circumstances. Horrible. Yeah, I don't know what reaction I'd use in the assault phase.
So basically, every time you charge, you're getting that additional attack and plus 1 strength. So if you deep strike down or use a warmonger to teleport down with your warlord and then assault, your plus 1 strength and an additional attack, like plus 3 attacks on top of your base attacks plus any bonus attacks.
It's a good buff. That is a pretty good buff.
It's like,
but it is only warlord. As soon as he dies,
out of control.
You're done.
Yeah, but okay, understood. But that's part of the game, is keeping your general alive, right? Like,
well, that's pretty hard to do if he's on your front line trying to assault in turn 2.
Not for me. I often just land and then just crush everyone's skulls with Thunderhammer and then just go, now what? I own your backline, and then just stand there for another turn and then the game ends.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't take more intercept against you.
Well, that's the thing. No one's taking interceptor. I don't believe there's a global appetite for interceptor. That's what I just don't.
It's a couple of points. There's a couple of points to intercept on anything. Outflankers, deep strikers.
Free intercepts, yeah. But the thing is, if you're dropping down 3 units, even if they have 3 units, they can only fire those 3 units into one of your units. Very often it just does nothing anyway. Probably the most I've been intercepted by is 3 units. And none of them were heavy weapons squads, so I don't count that as really as heavy interceptor. They weren't dreadnoughts, and they were just 10, 20-man squads and shit like that.
That's weird.
Heavy bolter squads. Yeah. I just don't think there's I think there's a lot of fear mongering going. Well, I don't know. It depends on the meta. That's the problem. There's what is the fucking global meta? Everybody has a different meta in their area. That's why doing list reviews, I've always been you can tell what's good by whether if you want a really good list, just take the most reliable stuff. Take stuff that's reliable, doesn't run away, and does good damage. But when you can't tell what someone's going to come up against when they then go down to their local store, right? So if I tell you a list that's really good in my meta, and then you go and build it, and then you spend a couple of $1,000 buying Forge World models, and then run that, and it's not good, then that's why I'm always kind of like, I don't want to push people towards one specific thing. But Butcher's Claws, I feel like that's probably the best out of those, right? Like an extra attack, like every time you charge, and +1 strength.
And strength, yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, 6 wounds. 6 wounds is also good. 6 wounds is pretty good in a Paragon duel, Paragon Blade fight, when you're both just rolling like.
Yeah, I don't even bother the Paragon anymore. Just Thunderhammer.
Just crush people. Just wait for them to strike you, and
then that brutal.
Just give them a chance. Yeah, that's what I do. I've got the Thunderhammer. I've got a 3+ invuln there, and 5+ feel no pain on my Iron Father, so I can actually take a hit. Whereas, Joe Fuckface from the World Eaters, what's he got? Like a 4+ invulnerable? Yeah,
okay.
That's
cool. And drop a moon on us. Nice. It's called cheating, sir. That is a cheat, and I will have the administered against you in the court of Terra.
If you do beat me, I'm such a sore loser. I'll have my men drop a moon on you.
My Praetor's Thunderhammer is actually a big power axe, but it's blunt, so it counts as a hammer.
Yep. Crushing damage, brutal too.
Brutal.
It's too brutal for me, bro. Okay, so that's the Warlord traits. There's 3 of them. I think that like the 6 wound one is really good. I think Butcher's Claws is really good if you just want to be a fucking just strike force. Like, that's really good to me when I look at say like Red Butchers with a and then my Praetors in there, and then there's a Warmonger, and just teleporting them in, or even just having like 10 of them with a general guy in a Spartan, and just giving them an extra attack on top of their already insane attacks, extra strength, so you like strength 6 lightning claws.
The weapons are trash. No, Red Butcher's weapons are trash. If they had fists or anything that does double more strength that is needed.
Yeah, they don't have any Thunderhammers or anything like that, but strength 6 rending isn't fucking terrible. All right, well, we'll talk about Red Butchers, and if you want to hear us debate about Red Butchers, you can also go and listen to the fucking Terminator stream that on Outer Circle. What's it called? Is that what it's called? Legion Terminator stream or something? I'll put a link in the show notes.
No.
What's it called? Is it just called Stream February?
I do a lot of
5th?
Editing, and that was a live stream. I'm not going to know what it is. The greatest Legion Terminator tier debate.
Oh, there you go.
The greatest Legion Terminator tier debate. It's a good format. Good format, I think.
Just need more production value from you. You need a hat, a gavel, and you need to be like a fucking just like, come on. Like, stop.
You're talking Squatch, man.
Stop shitting.
But no, you're right. I should be more involved in it. But I'm pretty sure
just hurry people
within 20
along.
minutes.
Hurry people along, especially if they start to read out like long rules verses. Just be like, no. Yes, we all know what that means. Even if you don't, just like, just fucking hurry it along a bit. Because Mako wants to do another 2, one covering all the loyalists, just power armor special units and shit, and one doing the trader one. So you're gonna definitely need to gavel along, like just be like crack. Next up, crack, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the like gavel etiquette is. It's probably just like I don't know. You need to research that. But anyway, okay. So let's talk about extra equipment. So.
Do we not want to do the rites of war?
No. We do them at the end.
Oh my god. That's weird.
The last
weird
thing
format.
we do, you fool.
Alright, equipment, eh?
Alright, so they can become berserk. Basically, there's a thing where you can get the butcher's nails or whatever and become a fucking idiot.
We call it the old drill to the head. So this is
the drill.
This is ridiculous.
So for 20
Ravaging
points,
Madman, right?
Yeah, for 20 points you gain the Ravening Madman special rule and increase your attacks by 1. And the Ravening Madman rule is any model making it to wound roll in the assault phase against a unit composed entirely of models with this special rule reduces its strength by 1 when determining the score required to wound. This does not affect the attacker's unit's strength for the purpose of inflicting instant death. Additionally, all to hit rolls made in the assault phase targeting a unit that includes one or more models with a special rule count as having the weapon skill of 3, regardless of actual weapon skill. So you always hit against them at 3. So if you're 6, you're hitting a 2+. They still are weapon skill 5, like the characters, and also Red Butchers that have this rule. So you'll still they'll still be hitting as normal, but you're mostly going to be getting hit on the 3s.
Yeah, for 20 points, man. This should be free.
And that allows you to then join a unit like Red Butchers, which have the Ravening Madman rule. Yeah. And you also get +1 attack, an additional +1 attack.
Wow, totally not worth it.
Oh no, you increase your attacks characteristic by 1, so you'd be a 5 attack Praetor. Oh, so you go up to 9. Oh, it breaks the magic 8 number. Savage Fervor is another rule. Any model with Legion Astartes World Eater. Special rule with a chainsword may exchange the chainsword for a chain axe for no additional points cost. And a chain axe now is +1 strength.
And
shred. So no AP4. They've lost AP4.
Yeah, it's trash. It's better than a kick in the face, which is what that drill is. That's worse than a kick in the face.
Pretty good.
Madman is drilled to the face. Yeah, points wise, it's free.
Strength 5.
In reality, trying to get that, even outside of 3D printing, it's going to cost you money to get that amount of chain axes, and that's coming from somebody that did it to 47 miniatures. So good luck trying to source those. I don't think they're hard to come by, and they're very expensive until Games Workshop actually decides to try and do that. You could always stick one on their belt or something, because they're very fragile as well. If you're carrying them, they can snap pretty easily, so be prepared to fix them. But it's cool. It looks fun.
It'd be cool if they dropped like a chain axe sprue at some point, like with just the arm and the sprue in plastic.
Yep. Well, it's been over a decade, so I'm still waiting.
Well, now it's the age. Now is the age of plastic. So I'm sure.
I can't wait for that new plastic tank, whatever it is. I'm sure it's going to be another plastic tank. That is
Kratos.
So
they've already brought it out.
Another Kratos. Yeah, it'll probably be. Look, it's Kratos. It's the next thing will be 3 Kratoses in a box or something. 100%.
Lucky dip, and it's all Kratos.
It was always just Kratos.
Get rid of the 60 Kratos. Say it's Lucky dip. All right. I have 2. Every has 2 Kratos. So from people who bought them. Okay. So
why'd they give them to you if they're so good?
No, they didn't give them to me. I purchased them, sir, legally, all above board. Paid the statutory taxes in each territory and state. What do you mean? Why did they give them to me?
Like, if they're so good, why did they buy them and then
just
sell them?
Just didn't fit their army, where they were going with their army, I guess. Like, if you remember, a lot of that stuff came out, like the Kratos came out when the rules dropped. So if you hadn't been up to date on the leaks, and you see this cool tank, and then maybe you don't like the rules, and then you're like, oh, well, fucking move it on down the line to someone who will use it. I don't know. I'm looking forward to using. It's going to be the year of the double Kratos, double Warmonger. Imagine double Kratos and double Warmonger in the same army. Oh god. Okay, so extra equip. We're going to jump past rights and go to special units. Oh no, we haven't. Oh, sorry, no, we didn't finish the Kadir weapons.
The cavalry weapons, my lord.
So I call them the Kadia weapons. You call them the Cadere. Other people, who knows what Michael calls them? Cadre.
Radio.
These are cool though. Let's read the fluff there and see if it tells us what Falx Blade is. Based upon the ritual weapons of the cyber-augmetic gladiators of the savage world on which their bloody-handed Primarch was once cast, it was Angron himself who received the use of the Kadir weapons. Revived the use of the Kadir weapon, the Kadir, amongst his legion's ranks. Brutal and difficult to master, the weapons of the Kadir remain largely the preserve of the Rampagers, world eaters who have responded the best to the addition of the cranial berserker implants, which are hallmark with Legion and its champs. Yeah, that's savage. It doesn't tell us what the fuck a Falx Blade is, though. Phalanx? Maybe it is Phalanx. I thought it was Falx. Maybe it is Phalanx. Okay, so there's 4 different weapons. Let's do the Phalanx Blade first, because it's the fucking best and most just out of control. It's +1 strength, AP 5. It sounds alright so far. However, melee, specialist weapon, rending 4+, and duelist edge 1. So, rending 4+, just on a model that has like 6 attacks or some shit in the charge, is like literally fucking out of control. So
it's pronounced Cadro as well.
Cadro. Is that what Google's telling you?
It's in French. No, it's a dude on YouTube who says how to pronounce Cadro correctly. I think he gives both Italian, French, and English spellings, UK and American, or correction, enunciations. And he seems to be pretty on the ball.
Model with the Cadro weapon.
With the Cadro.
Hey, it's the meteor hammer. Right, well, let's talk about the other fucking weapons. So,
okay, Cadra in American, it's Cadra.
In American,
sounds lax, man. Whatever, call him whatever you want, dude. Who's gonna? Someone's gonna call the cops on you? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen?
Call him Kadir. Go with Kadir. I go with whatever I think of when I first say it, until Andy Hoare sends me a message and goes, "You idiot! It's pronounced blah blah blah." All right.
And how do you pronounce bot?
Well,
or bod?
That's
bod.
Subject to debate. Bod.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, barbed hook lash is the next one. It's strength as user, AP 5. However, it has melee, 2-handed, fleshbane, so it always wins on 2s. Reach 1, so +1 initiative, and rending 5+. So the rending is only just 1 below the Phalanx Blade. The Phalanx Blade 4+ rending is truly fucking just like ludicrous. However, this weapon has 1 less on the rending, but the +1 initiative, which I think is big. Just having
that is pretty big. Initiative 5 is pretty big.
Because just being able to whip the shit out of
Do you have enough attacks to kill? What's the average on that? On dice, the numbers aren't.
Yeah, but dude,
unless you're having a full 10-man or plus going into something,
yeah,
you're, even with that initiative, you're getting struck back. You're only...
In 10 rampages, you only need to have like 3 of them. And that's like 18 attacks or some shit. Like, you get a chance of just whipping half the unit to death so you don't lose as many when you're, overwhelming 4+ rending chops just fucking slaughter each other. Like, especially, there's some units that would just have like power swords and shit like that, and they'll just stab the fuck out of you in return.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just whip a whole bunch of them to death with 5+ rendings, whoosh, 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 it's pretty good. I don't know.
No, the fact that it's 2-handed as well is kind of...
Oh, only
crap.
5 attacks in charge instead of 6. Damn.
Yes.
Because what do they got?
That is a damn.
2 base, 3 in the charge. If the general's in there. Oh, and he will be in there. Okay, so... okay.
I'd put him with the Phalanx Blades.
You put him just all Phalanx Blades?
That seems to be the standard.
No whips at all. So unimaginative.
I might
what about
the imagine?
What about rule of cool? Okay. Well, let's talk about the other ones, and then maybe these other ones will tickle your fancy. So this is the Excoriator Chain Axe, which is strength +2, AP 3, which is pretty good. Just based off that, basic strength 4, AP 3 attacks, not bad. However, also... Oh, sorry. Strength 6, AP 3 attacks. Two-handed with Shred, Murderous Strike 5+, and Unwieldy. So you don't get Rending or anything like that. However, you do have a whole shitload of Strength 6 base, AP 3, Shred, Murderous Strike 5+ attacks that you can just like hoe into like Automata. That would like imagine just getting off like you could easily just get off like 4 Murderous Strikes, right? On off like 6 or 7 attacks. How many fucking ungodly number of attacks you have?
Automata?
Against Automata?
Why?
Automata, how do you say it?
You have crack... I don't care. I don't need to say it because I don't need to fight them because they'd run away scared. You have crack grenades. You got weapon skill 4, they're weapon skill 3. Who cares?
Well,
Spit on them.
You hit automatically with 1 strength 6 AP3 versus doing up to 6.
Get out of here. What are you doing? Weapon skill's so huge now. Basic Marines
are
hitting them on 3s.
Yeah.
The Automata are hitting you on freaking 5s or some crap.
But Murder Strike is instant death though, so every time you roll a 5+...
Oh, who cares? You got a whole bunch of crack grenades. That are AP4, I believe.
Don't need them though.
Kablamo.
You just go with the chain axe.
Yeah, but you don't need a specialized weapon to do the same thing. That isn't really that great. It's cool.
You just want to go Phalanx Blades against everything. Everything.
It just needs to be.
It's just like it's just unimaginative.
Why is that two-handed?
All I'm saying is it's unimaginative.
Why is that two-handed? It's only.
It's a big axe. Strike, it's a big fucking axe, mate.
5+, but it's not. It's got no rending though. Why is there no rending in that? Why does that not have rending? But the Phalanx Blades do. What are the Phalanx Blades made of that's making them 4+ rending? It makes no fucking sense.
They made it some sort of hyper ally. Also,
and
it says they're brutal,
dude. +1 strength as well. They're just so much better than any other weapon there. It's like you're getting the extra attack because you get 2 of them. They're a specialist weapon, granted. But you get the extra attack,
Cyber Augmetic Gladiators.
+1 strength, plus rending 4+, and then rending 4+, correction. Like, why is it so good? Whereas the other one's two-handed is fairly... That's a debuff, right? Which all of them have. And then you have not rending 4+. It makes no sense. Why is the Meteor Hammer not rending 4+?
Oh, yeah, okay. So Meteor Hammer's +2 strength, AP4. Melee, two-handed, reach 1. So +1 attack on the charge, I believe that is. And breaching 5+. Reach 1 might be +1 initiative.
It's really weird. Why wouldn't you do... So the Meteor Hammer versus the next close thing, because of the reach 1, would be the barbed hook flash, right? So you're getting the +1 initiative. You don't get Fleshbane, but you're getting +2 strength, correction. So and breaching, which is worse than rending because you got to roll your 4+ after your 5+. Yeah.
Oh, reach isn't in the rulebook. What the hell?
Which is +1 initiative on the charge, right?
There's 2. I only just discovered the other night when we were looking at some rules for something that there's 2 different rules. One of them is +1 initiative in the charge. One of them is +1 initiative at all times.
This should have to be... Alright, yeah, who knows? Maybe I shouldn't just interpret the rules. Reach seems like it would be a charge thing, but whatever. Never needed it. Won't need it, because Phalanx Blades are better. Just get out of here with your whips. It does look cool with the chain axes and stuff. I just wish they were better. They just need to be better.
I feel like it'd be cool to have just like one guy with the chain axe, just in case you come up against Automata and you just see how many he can kill on his own. You just go, can I just roll for this guy first? I just want to see if he can kill, like, you know, because on the perfect roll he could get 6 hits. They could all be 5+ instant deaths, and then your Automata would have to take... Oh, no, I guess because you're only doing D3, aren't you, from each hit. But you could get, like, 18 damage on a unit. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Or you could just use Phalanx Blades and win the day. Whatever.
It's not as cool. It's not as, like, yeah, that's, like... This is Larry, the fucking Dreadnought Destroyer, you know. I get what you're saying. It's kind
probably should have picked up a las cannon then.
Rule of cool versus fucking...
Larry ain't doing jazz.
Okay, so Reach, I finally found it. It's in Liber Hereticus. So a model making attacks as part of an assault using a weapon with this special rule adds the value of X that is included in... as part of this special rule to its initiative characteristic. If a model has more than one weapon with this special rule, then that model only increases the value of its initiative by the value of the special rule on the weapon whose profile is used by that model to attack during the fight subphase. A weapon that is not used to attack does not modify the model's initiative characteristic. Models that may attack with more than one weapon, or models that... Oh yeah, okay. Jesus Christ. Alright, so +1 initiative.
Forever. In a combat.
Yeah, and then there's Sudden Strike, which is in a turn in which a model with this special rule charges into combat, it adds a bonus to its initiative characteristic until the end of the assault phase. The bonus added to the model's initiative is equal to the value in the brackets, blah blah blah. And then there's one more, which is the one that's on shit, what's that called?
Well, that's good. In light of this new information, I think I'll go ahead and just stick to Phalanx Blades. Now, look, the whip could be good. I think it might be fun. But, you know, we're not here to fun. We're here to learn. We're here to freaking lose turn 1. Because we're world eaters, and that's what it's about. Or something.
Yeah, there's a rule that's on, like, Palatine blade swords, what are they called? The charnable sabers that gives you the charnable weapons. Yeah, Duelist Edge. That gives you +1 initiative, but only in a challenge. Yeah, but I mean, I rampages. Well, we'll get to the. I guess we'll get to rampages. So that's the extra equipment. Those 4 weapons. As you can tell, it's hard to shift a cat off Phalanx blades. Rending 4+ is just like horrendous. I've had games where, like, I had a game against Tommy where he had 10 rampages all with Phalanx blades, and they just got out in front of my army, and I was like, okay, just fuck off. Just kept shooting them, and then 3 of them managed to fight through all my shit, ran through my Overwatch on my fucking culverins, murdered all of them, and there was like 3 left, and those 3 dudes charged one of my dreadnoughts, and like my dreadnought right at the end of the game, and just fucking destroyed it on the charge, just 3 of them. And I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's probably like one of the few fucking super terrifying units that max Falx Blade rampages, which we'll get to shortly. But I think any character can take those weapons. So
they have to be able to replace a model with this cadre. A model with cadre weapon may select one of the following weapons that is selected as part of the army. Additionally, any model with either the independent character special rule or character subtype and the Legion of Astartes World Eater special rule may exchange a chainsword for one of the cadre weapons for 15 points. So they have to have a chainsword. So you can't give it to your dreadnought freaking king.
Can't give it to Dread Daddy. Oh, no Dread Daddy Falx Blade. Holy shit, imagine how insane that would be!
I mean, +1 strength in Terminator armor
rending
can also not take it. Terminators can't take them. It's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. Damn shame they can't pick up this like non-powered just piece of hunk of metal that can cut through fucking like dreadnoughts and shit. Dude, imagine a fucking Dread Daddy with cadre weapons. Yeah. Like fucking +1 attack, fucking strength 8 rending, 4+.
Yeah, dude. That'd be sick. And have him just tiny little dagger hands.
Strength 8 rending means you auto penning. Like, oh man.
Would be good, but alas, we cannot do such things. And also it limits who else can take it. So they need to be able to have a chainsaw. So Terminators can't do it, which is a damn shame. Damn shame.
You reckon?
Because imagine if Red Butchers could take them. Rule of cool, of course, right? A big Terminator with a big executioner chain axe, being all like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna die before I ever get to swing this thing. Look how good I am." Or whip frickin' Terminator, Just like, crack that whip.
Here's my question, my friend. If Kadir weapons are all the rage, how come chain axe is the symbol of the Legion then? Hey? Like, how come there's not, like, these Kadir weapons?
Well, that's the thing. That is the thing, my friend. So I'm going to be moving away from the normies of the Legion, especially the inducti and stuff, because the World Eaters after Isvan 5, there's pieces of fluff out there where they harvested the land of Gene Seed. They didn't really give a crap whose it was. They just, because they had a lot of
really? So they're a mongrel legion
in their army.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got some training from the Emperor's children, and they were like, hey, just put all the Gene Seed in a big vial of freaking demon juice, give it a stir, and there you go, and chuck that in there. And also just implant you guys with memories of all the dead people from the Gene Seed, and that way you can
that way they're completely insane.
That was a concern, but if you don't care about it, then you don't need to have it as a concern. So you just ignore that part. And yes, there was obviously.
So is it literally? Did the Emperor just watch the movie Jason, like that Jason?
No,
Bond,
this is after Isvan 5. So the Emperor was like, "Could you stop screwing around?" Yeah, because obviously the Butcher's Nails were during the Crusade era. They were screwing around with that, and they were like, "Oh, could you stop doing that?" And they were like, "Nah, we're going to go ahead and keep on drilling our heads." Just to get the demons out or whatever. And yeah, after Isvan 5, it kind of went even more insane with the augmentation of trying to just become more efficient with
yeah, when you try and start doing, right? That's why I mentioned Jason Bourne, like the Bourne movies, because that's literally, they try and fucking fuck around with his memories and shit, and then it just comes back to haunt them, because when he figures out, wait, I'm not actually this guy, who the fuck am I? I'm suddenly remembering shit. Then you just have like, I guess the nails just channel it into just rage, right? It's just some insane fucking.
Well, the nails actually stop your brain from releasing, I believe it's serotonin, or it could be a different chemical that makes you feel good about stuff. The only way it will release the feel good chemical in your brain is when you're in combat and doing combat-y things. So outside of that, it's like getting your little nerves cut off. So I don't know why that would make you go crazy though. It's like, isn't that what like most people that feel depression are like anyway? Like, oh no, poor gigantic space marine with your 20 hearts or whatever. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're all like, everyone's so busy fawning over them and like rubbing them with oils and shit, and servitors clipping their nails and like doing their hair and shit. Like,
imagine the smell.
Yeah, just imagine the smell. Let's talk about special units.
All right, do we start off with Angron? Getting his.
No, we don't do special characters or Primarch.
You don't.
No.
Oh, okay,
why'd we do that? We didn't fucking play him, bro. Although I'm painting up.
Oh no, just to say, Angron. He's like mid tier. He doesn't buff your army, but he's got a fair amount of attacks. I don't know. I will be getting an Angron, actually. There is a joint that is making a 3D file of a woman Angron, and I'm going to go to events that kind of encourage Primarchs, and I'm going to go there with a woman Angron. Just not good. To troll. It's art, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Art has to be interpreted by the viewer, so we'll leave that up to the viewers. Or maybe I am just a jerk, who knows. But I think, yeah, we'll see. 450, pretty good.
You should hold a event for gender swap Primarchs only. Start getting really elitist about it.
That's actually a really good take.
I don't think you're being elitist enough about your gender swap Primarchs.
It's a good take. Oh my god, that is such a good take. Holy crap, that's funny as hell.
Dude, all I have is good takes. Alright, okay. Talking about good takes. Number 1 unit, Red Butchers. So I've had fucking hours of arguments online with people about Red Butchers. I don't think they're super bad. And the few
World Eater gamers that you play against who play maybe once every freaking leap year. You're like, hey, red butchers are cool. And they're like, well, I don't read the rules, so you must be right. I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of Terminator. Oh, no, I just wasted my money.
No.
They are trash, dude. They have to be. They're trash. They're trash. Trash.
I think people are too caught up on, like, I will admit, you're always going to be getting hit on 3s by most shit. However, so are any weapon skill 4 Terminators being hit on 3s by weapon skill 5 stuff, which is the real hard hitting shit in the game. Not that many people are running just basic Terminator squads like I've been running. Okay. I fucking barely run into it.
They have some good points. They are fearless, and that keeps you in combat.
Keeps you alive.
Maybe.
Keeps you alive.
And that's good in this edition because you want to be in combat in your opponent's turn so you don't get shot. But you can't run them. You can't run units down, which is huge. Your weapon capability here, you get power axes or lightning claws. Like 10 points, it's not on the cheaper side. I'd love to see that at 5 points per model for lightning claws.
Don't forget, Ravening Mammoth, all your shit is -1 to fucking wound against me. But
that won't matter against other Terminators. They suck so bad.
What do you mean? Just because they're getting hit on 3s? Just because you're going to get
instant killed.
Yeah, so
and you can't deliver
everything
that.
Else.
You can't deliver that.
Dude, Vargir are hitting on 3s, and because they go up to weapon skill 6 on the charge, and they're considered top tier, and that's basically they have that and fearless. Sorry, they've got that and fear. That rule of being the +1 weapon skill or +1 to hit, is being hit on +1 is a detriment. However, it's not like you're hitting with weapon skill 3. You're still hitting at weapon skill 5. And then people say, oh, but they'll just demolish you. And then, my counter to that is, maybe they don't. Maybe I roll...
We've rolled this, man. We've rolled this online.
Yeah, and
we're rolling dice.
Well,
and
we rolled it once.
We rolled it once. 8
and it was
killing your guys. That's the problem, because they don't have that capability. They don't have that offensive capability.
Also,
and the world leaders. Why do world leaders not have offensive capability? Who made that fucking tactical decision?
You were rolling 2s to hit instead of 3s to hit with your Thunderhammers too. There was a few maths. I think you're fine, sir. If we audit the data,
I was doing that. At all.
I believe there was some recriminations afterwards when we discovered extra rules. I even if they go down to just one fucking guy and he's fearless and he holds that unit up for another turn, I feel like that's good. Even if he just kills it.
Okay, so they're points wise, they're overcosted for what they are. You can use them as a screening force, as a look at this, shoot at it kind of thing, but they need to either be in a vehicle or teleport. And to be able to teleport, you need to have a Warmonger, right? And that dude's going to be incredibly expensive, especially because you've got to pay the get drilled in the head tax of 20 points, plus your Terminator gear and all that other jazz. And that Warmonger isn't doing great because he can't take 2 close combat weapons, so he's losing. He gains 1 because he gets a drill to the head.
What do you mean?
But he loses 1 because he has to take a gun, right?
No, you could take a Warmonger in Artificer armor. And just
could, but would you bother?
Give him some Falx blades, sir. More Falx to the mix. More Falx on top.
Yeah, maybe.
Phalanx, sorry. More just could it up. Like it is mind-boggling that Red Butchers can't take even like a single fucking Phalanx would be fucking some sick and like
these dudes with weapons, maybe with the Rending 4+.
Can the Devoured can't get could Wait, how do you say it?
I
feel like I'm saying it too.
I don't know. We'll have to wait until we go to it, but I think the HQ can. The leader. May have to be an independent character, but it's got character subtype.
Or character subtype and Legion Studies World Leader can exchange a chainsword. Oh, that's right, yeah. So there's no chainsword to exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, even just a single.
Kedra.
But then again, you can just take fucking a chain fist and a thunderhammer on that guy, and just be or dual thunderhammers on the Devoured, which is pretty cool because that's like 4 attacks base with thunderhammers. And then if you have your general in there, another +3 when you're charging, so it's a 7 just off that one guy. So
it's kind of weird, dude. Like, having Red Butchers being led by a power armor dude just seems kind of weird if you're not putting him in the Terminator armor as well.
No, because he's just like a fucking prime fucking killer dude. Like, I don't think I don't think any of the hierarchy fucking top fighters of the World Eaters would be in Terminator armor. I think it's too restrictive. I think they would be like stripped down, maybe have bare arm, or maybe the risky, the super risky bare legs, and then and just be running around.
Oh, footy shorts, Jesus, why?
No, I don't know.
Or silkies.
No,
jeez. Should I wear silkies to an event one day? That'd be weird, eh? That's actually a good strat for when you're playing World Eaters. Obviously, every other legion basically has better standard rules. So what you want to either do is like
distract people with ultra short shorts,
or just have tiny shorts and just do it that.
Just be mega jacked. Just casually mega jacked. Yeah.
Casually mega jacked. Well, freaking steroids aren't that expensive. If you live in a country that has free medical and you can tell the doctor that you need steroids. In Minecraft, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Red Butchers, man, I don't know. I don't rate them. Though I am looking at a bag of 2 bags of 5 at the moment. So what am I going to do? And to get lightning claws, man, I'm going to use the lightning claws from the Battle of Kelth box set. So I've got those already.
Just the dual power axes is a sick.
I'm going to run them against you, and you're gonna just destroy them with. I don't even know how to destroy them with anything.
I will cap because I know how good they are.
Launch it.
Yeah, because I know how good they are, so I will destroy them.
What?
Because I know how good they are. Dude? Yeah, that's my logic. I know how good they are. That's why I'll single them out and be like, oh, don't want them in my lines. I know how good they are. Ooh. Or am I playing?
Dropping the moon. Prepare for dropping the moon.
All the while I've been talking, I've been pressing the drop moon button. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so take them or leave them. There's been debates. If you want to listen to me and Macca argue about it for a little bit, which is probably only 1/10 of the offline argument we've had about them, then check out the what the fuck was it called? Legion Terminators outer circle thingo.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Rampages. Now, these dudes, these are the boys, right? Like, these are the fucking.
Send it, bro.
These are the vets of the Legion. They have the most fucking best weapon ever crafted by mankind, which is on a cyber augmented gladiator world. They made these swords that could cut through a dreadnought, and then they used them for gladiator fighting. And then later, some limited use by the World Eaters Legion for some reason. So wouldn't you just clone that? Like take that tech and fucking.
Yeah, I don't know why wouldn't you change your Legion specific weapon from chain axe to
Falx blade? Even if it's just one Falx blade, wouldn't you just have one?
Yeah, wouldn't that be better?
One Falx blade on each guy would just be so much better, because you couldn't charge a 20-man unit if they all just had one Falx blade, like one just rending 4 plus attack. They got to just stab you. Oh shit!
So OP. But it's interesting to note the Rampage squads in one of the Rites of War can get line as elites. In the Butcher Rites of War, you can take them as troops, but they don't get line, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run these dudes. And yes, I won't have any line units, but statistically speaking, I'll still be able to win most of my games because they're going to be kill point missions. And also, I don't care. I don't play to win. I just play to up the guts, lots of phalanx blades.
Up the guts with lots of phalanx? Yep. All right, so the veteran Termi boys, everyone knows the stats for veteran Termis.
Wait, what? Rampaging?
Yeah, they're the weapon skill 5.
Veteran Termi. Did you say veteran Termi guys?
Veteran boys.
Sorry,
veteran stat line is what I meant. Yeah.
They're shock assault
Legion
troops.
veteran.
They're just good dudes. They're either really good at combat and savagery, or they've gone insane, like me. So it works really well. I can identify with this unit. Really good.
Now, do you take? It's 10 points each for jump. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'll tell people what weapons they've got. So they come with 1 Kadir weapon or 2 Falx blades. So everyone, obviously, we all know where we're going with this. Bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack, power armor, And then they've got stubborn chosen warriors, so they can do duels. And if you remember, the Foxblade has the +1 initiative in duels rule. Furious charge 1, so strength 5 on the charge with their Foxblade, strength 6. If you put a fucking champion there, that's strength 7. Strength 7 rending 4+. Strength 7 rending 4+.
Wait, whoa, slow down there. Where are we getting 7 from?
We're at strength 7 already, bro. Furious
How
charge, +1 strength.
Where did we get an extra strength from? What's happening?
+1 strength.
4, +1 strength.
Furious charge.
Which is 5. Where's Furious charge?
Foxblade, +1 strength.
Oh, these boys do get Furious charge. See, that's something I've even overlooked. Because I assumed they were crap.
Yeah.
There you go.
Strength 7.
That's pretty good.
So strength 7 rending 4+ means it
it's even better. This gets better.
The lowest you can roll
is it's so good. It's like buying like a really souped up car, and then there's like features you didn't even realize you had, and you're like, oh, look at that, an extra double go fast button. Yeah, awesome.
There you go. Strength 7.
Furious charge
so
+1.
The lowest you can roll is an 11. If you roll a...
I haven't made my units of these dudes yet, but I am very keen to. I don't know whether to use the new heads or with bunny ears, because the bunny ears signified true warfare. You see that it signifies the bunny ears in the World Eaters Legion. It signifies you're committed completely to warfare.
What? Like,
but I don't know whether to use the new ones or the old ones. I've got 40.
What does it mean
ones.
though? Is it?
Again, it comes from Nuceria and
some gladiator shit.
Yeah, again. Yeah,
it turns out the highest culture
dedicated
and
to
the
combat.
highest tech was all from fucking Nuceria.
Yep.
And now they're all dead. Now that culture is dead because the Emperor fucking didn't give a fuck. He just looked at those guys and went, "What a fucking pile of shit, dude. We're going home." And then Angron's like, "What, my family?" And it's just like, "Get in the fucking car." And Angron's like, "Okay."
Why did he agree? What a dumbass. Anyway, another reasons why I hate Primarch.
Well, maybe he just like maybe Angron just like took a step towards him and then just blacked out, and then just awoke fucking like 9 weeks later, like fucking somewhere else in the galaxy on a ship.
The Emperor roofied him.
Well, yeah, just mind roofied him, right? Emperor can just mind roofie anyone. He can like slow time and stuff. You can't stab him.
Why didn't he like mind alter him and say, "You're okay with this now. You don't care about your family"? Or is he like benevolent and he wants to have people to have their free will? No, if we take away their free will, they won't destroy half the universe, and then that won't make for a good story. Oh no.
Well, as the mouthpiece of the Emperor, I would like to say he's playing the great game. Not everything may make sense to you when you're.
That's a very linear
2D
perspective. That's a linear perspective, and it lacks depth.
Yeah, but you've got a 2D dimensional view of a 4-dimensional problem. So, I mean,
it's not Marvel, bro.
That's what the Emperor. That's what the Emperor's fucking working.
You lack nuance, my sir.
Hey, how many dimensions is the Emperor fucking plunging fucking tunnels and shit into? Who knows? All right. Okay. So anyway, Rampager squad extremely good. I played against Kurt down in New South Wales, and he had some of these with jump packs, and his general in there who's just like a fucking jump pack fucking murderer, and they like just flew across the table, cleared out my fucking culverins.
So he started them on the table with jump packs.
Yeah, he started them on, did a big move, and then did a first turn charge. Got
that's so world eater. What a world. And you didn't shoot them. You just thought, those guys just must be petitioning against my army.
Well, he had a whole bunch of shit. He also had like 10 Terminators with chain fists on one part of the table as well. I sent down my Terminator Deep Strike to attack those guys.
What is this? What is that build?
Huh?
What is that? 10 Terminators with 10 chain fists.
With chain fists and combi bolters, yeah. They're just some disciples of Khorne. I don't know. They're just fucking harsh dudes.
That's cool.
So I was like, well, that's a perfect test bed.
That's a lot of chain fists.
Yeah, I was like, that's a perfect test bed because they're all armed with the same weapon. I want to see what I can do to them because I've just got a mix of fucking different shit, power axes and other shit. Chain fists and thunderhammers and random chain fists and shit on characters and stuff. And thunderhammers on my general and chain fists on my some of my warmongers and sergeants and lightning claw sergeants and shit. Anyway, so I deep struck down and assaulted them and destroyed them over like 2 or 3 turns. But while I was doing that, those jump pack guys just cleared, just like, okay, well, we'll be right back, and then just cleared out my whole army and came back to confront them once they'd like chewed through all these terminators and killed a dreadnought. So then they charged into me, and yeah, I just fucking stopped them. Like, just rolled a whole bunch of fucking 4+ invulns, and then just destroyed them all with thunderhammers. My general destroyed his general with a thunderhammer. Just hit him in the chest with a thunderhammer and just blew his fucking all his hearts and lungs and extra lungs and extra hearts and all the other shit that's in your chest.
How did you determine it was the chest and the head or the uncovered legs?
I rolled a secret dice. It was like 3+. It's the chest.
The head. Yeah. Cool.
Ooh,
good. That's what I do a lot. That's how I drag out my game. So we only get to turn 2.
Just rolling secret dice. Oh wait, you killed my general. Hold on, I need to roll some secret dice you're not allowed to see, just to determine the narrative in my brain on these secret tables.
No, let him see it. I have all the the Dungeon Master cards and everything. Yeah, I got all that. I made it all. Just take up most of the table and take up more tables of other people's tables and be like, oh, bro, can I put all my charts here for like when my guys get hurt and like when my vehicle gets destroyed, like what part?
My extra narrative charts. It's my charts I've been working on for years. Make way for my charts.
Sorry, going back to that stupid the Butcher's freaking ravaging madman. Why doesn't it make your HQ fearless? If it made people fearless, it would probably work. It'd be less of a sting.
Yeah. Because
leadership is huge, but it doesn't. They're still feared. That makes. You are putting them with red butchers, and they are fearless until they all die, which they will because they're fearless, and the reason why they're fearless is because they're going to lose in combat, anyways. And then your very expensive HQ guy, Warmonger, runs away. Anyway. Very annoying.
I really feel like they need to world eaters to me should be fucking either a mild buff like they have now to represent them during the Crusade era, but you need to have a rapidly adjusted, like, you know, as soon as they, because shit just goes wild for them, like pretty much, like they're deploying. Red Butchers are guys from Istvan 3 who went insane, right? And then they deploy them on Istvan 5, right? So they're already like,
well, they're
going fucking.
Yeah, so Red Butchers, they can be. They either go insane through the nails or whatever else of their own guys,
when do they
can
tell
just
everyone to leave?
Other randos in there, dude. They did in Istvan 3. They actually had loyalists that went insane and they chucked them in the armor.
Yeah. But
that's the worst punishment, dude. And I think that's the fluff that I really like about it. Whereas there's loyalists in there and you're forcing them to go to war, and they die because they're bad.
Well, they're letting you hit them. They're just like, kill me.
That's why I'm gonna run them.
I'll give you a free shot. I'll give you a free shot. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just like, come on, kill me. I don't want to be here. I'm trapped inside my own armor. Anyway, well. Yeah,
we're all over the shop here, but Rampage
I'll tell you what,
are the best.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I really think they should have a rapidly changed list from whenever, like, the point was that you were talking about when Khorne or Angron or whoever the fuck told them to just dump their vehicles and start fighting on foot.
I should have grabbed that reference, because people are like, that is not true.
I want to know when that is. Yeah, I want to know when that is, because when that happens, they should change, and their whole Legion rule should change to post, the dumping of vehicles, and then they basically should have a rule where they can't even take fucking vehicles, and they all gain fearless or something.
Yeah, who knows? It might happen. I think that is after Istvan 5. They haven't really established where we are.
Imagine if they're all fearless.
Are we
Noise Marines are fearless.
What are we doing?
Cacophony are fearless.
Yeah, I'd like to see, and that could be very well broken because of how crucial leadership is in the game now, which is really weird. So I don't know why Marines are these super genetic men just running away from each other. That seems kind of weird. But more attrition, so you've got to do a.
I think if you make some of these, you will actually enjoy them, just because they aren't gonna fail every fucking. They don't have to take all those stupid just nonsense checks that every other motherfucker.
They still have to take.
They're
stubborn.
No, they're fearless. So rampages, yeah. But red butchers. I'm talking about red butchers. If you took red butchers, I think
they're expensive, man. Yeah, they're expensive.
I think you'll end up liking them because they don't have to take pinning. They don't have to take fucking. They're not affected by fear. They don't have to take, all the they don't have to take break checks. They can't be. All the fucking things.
They can't run down the enemy. They get hit on threes.
They can't evade.
They're very expensive points wise.
But you don't have to take all those fucking nonsense checks. Like you can end up taking like multiple fucking pinning checks in a turn. Like it's just ludicrous.
Yeah, you could do them up as well with a.
Well, you were complaining actually
with them.
Earlier in the show, I believe if we replay, you were complaining about how your world eaters, the leadership, and how they would run away and stuff. And now this is the solution.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to Rampage squads. Stubborn 8. It's good to go.
All right, okay, good call. You got a character in there too. Just Stubborn 9, Praetor, Stubborn 10. Stubborn 10 is a good place to be. All right.
It is a great place to be.
Let's talk about these Red Hand Butchers. So this is the... Red Hand Butchers. World Eaters Red Hand Destroyer Assault Squad. 115 points. These dudes are just weapon skill 4 basic bitches. They do have 2 attacks base though. They have stubborn and counterattack, so they're basically destroyers. Yeah, they are it does say Destroyer Assault Squad. Ravaging Assault and Bearers of the Bloody Hand. We'll come back to that in a second. You get 5 of them for 115. They come with 2 bolt pistols, chainsword, frag, crack, and rad. And then you can have up to an additional 10, so you can go up to 15. That's pretty good for 15 points each. They can have jump hacks of 5 points each. That's pretty cheap. Seems cheap. And then any Ravager may exchange their chainsword for... Oh! Meteor Hammer! Excoriated Chain Axe. Twin Falx Blades. And Barbed Hook Lash for 15 points each. Holy shit, our fucking friend Twin Falx Blades are back. Only this time... You've got rad grenades as well. That's fucking out of control.
It's pretty good, but your dudes are very expensive then, and they've only got 1 wound, so that's kind of.
It also says any Ravager too. It's like they copied and pasted the Ravager rule or something. See how it says any Ravager, but these are Red Hand Destroyer Assault Squad. It's weird.
Yeah, but it says that so inside the units they have their own.
Oh
designation,
yeah,
so you're right. So the HQ can't be the blood bonded. The blood bonded may take up to 3 Phosphex bombs. The blood bonded may take melter bombs. What the hell? Oh, he can also take Artificer armor, power weapon, power fist, lightning claw, or thunder hammer. That's a lot. That's fairly trashy as well. They can also every 5 models can take. 1 in every 5 models can take the missile launcher as per the destroyer squads with the red missiles.
Oh man, you just get Thunderhammer
a
for
Thunderhammer.
Sure. Yeah, Thunderhammer cool. Every day. Like 3 Thunderhammers in a 15-man unit with fucking like.
They just get so expensive, man. I think this
and
is
they're only weapon skill 4.
Really expensive weapon. This is a really expensive unit, and you're getting the rampages are just better. For the points cost, especially because you're getting your 2+ wound, they're stubborn and leadership's huge in this edition.
These do have rad grenades though, so theoretically they can hit even harder.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. It's the leadership, man, is what it does to you, and people will shoot them, and they're gonna get shot, and it's just sad.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, like definitely, I'm not arguing for these guys over rampages because rampages are fucking weapon skill 5. They'll just shit down the throats of these cons, and just free Falx Blades. So, what are we fucking talking about over here? So yeah, I think the strength of these dudes is that you can throw in a whole bunch of Falx Blades or maybe some lashes or whatever, and then a couple of Thunderhammers, and then just be like a Dreadnought assaulting team, because these guys are cheaper. They're only 15 points, so you throw them into combat. Because what's a Rampager? What was a Rampager? 25 or something? Let me go back to Rampages. Yeah, Rampages are 22 each. So 10 points. What is that? They're only 15 for these.
Well, they're 15 points, but then are you giving them jump packs? I guess not. I would say.
Well, are you giving your rampages jump packs? Because that's plus 10 for rampage.
Man, but
that's plus 10. That's plus 10 then.
That's my theme. So violent speed and momentum. They're the vanguard, my lord. But not everyone's going to do that. They might chuck them in vehicles, whatever else. But then you're saying you're going to give some Falx Blades. That's 15 points each, and some Thunderhammers. That's 20 points each. You're going to give the Blood Bonded Tessifer armor because that's 10 points, man. Like it adds up. It freaking adds up.
No, Blood Bonded doesn't get shit. He just gets like. Maybe he gets a fucking. He might get a barbed hook. He might get a whip. Just so if he has to fight a challenge, he can just whip them in the face.
He can't take a whip. I don't think. Can he take a whip? Does he? Wow. He has.
Only the Ravagers.
No, he has war gear. He does get a chainsword, so he could theoretically
exchange.
Buy one. Maybe, depending on how stringent you want to be in the rules. So yeah, he could take. He could. He could. That'd be good because he gets his 3 attacks, right? Give him the Falx Blades. That's an extra 2 attacks. Then 2 on the charge.
No, 1 attack, but yeah.
Well, they counted as
2 custom weapons, yeah.
Yeah, they're specialist weapons.
Yeah,
so you get an extra 1.
Attack.
So he gets 2.
No. Yeah, but you only get 1 attack total there for having 2 Falx Blades. It's got a special rule, doesn't it? It's got a special.
Well, then he'll add the 2 on a charge. We'll say 1, so that's 5. It's probably better spent on him than it is He's only got 1 wound. If he had 2 wounds, maybe this squad would be worth it. It's just I don't know. They're in the book as well, so if you are a novelman, they do rock around, which is so weird because they just rock around with the rest of the. They just had sporadic Red Hand squads mixed with the rest of the Legion. So these dudes are just putting radiation everywhere, touching things with their dirty hands. It's gross.
Yeah, it's
getting rad and phosphax everywhere.
So a Falx Blade is a weapon, like a discrete 1 weapon with +1 strength, AP 5 melee, specialist weapon, rending 4+, duelist edge 1. However, there's no way not to take it as 2 Falx Blades, because if you replace the chainsword, you have to replace it with 2. So there's no way not to have both. In which case, you have to use both. In which case, you just get the +1 because it's a specialist weapon.
I remember people in the old edition trying to add 1 Falx Blade to a Paragon Blade.
This Falx Blade adds to this Falx Blade, and then this Falx Blade adds to the other Falx Blade. So actually, got +2 attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hands.
Yeah, I guess in D&D you would. Now
if you've got these guys running around with you, radiating your army, maybe they do have 3 hands. Who knows?
So, Falx Blade. Yeah. Okay. So, I know they're better than taking normal destroyers, right? The Red Hand destroyers. They're just destroyers that also can take these like cool gladiatorial weapons. Like,
yeah,
even just a couple of scoriated chain axes in there. Imagine how cool that would look, like a destroyer unit.
It's a great representation of the army because you can get all these crazy things in there: hammers, the execution chain axes, the Falx Blades, all the cool stuff, and you can make it a really diverse unit. And it's cool represented. You can make all these individuals in this one unit, but apparently they have black armor and they have bloody hands that they put on the chest, and the commandos are like, congratulations, you get a handy shandy on your chesty, LaRue, and go play with radiation now.
And you get to just throw rad grenades at people and just be total fucking assholes off the hook.
They have a couple of special rules though that
Oh yeah, let's talk about the special rules. So bearers of the blood hand is a unit that contains at least 1 model with this special rule, must declare a charge if able when they begin the assault phase within 12 inches of an enemy unit. They can choose whichever one to attack. Does not allow you to choose one different to the unit you shot at. And then Ravaging Assault is on a turn in which they have charged a unit containing models with this special rule, gains a bonus of +1 to the amount of wounds inflicted when determining who has won a combat. Ooh. Additionally, they gain a bonus of +1 to the result of any sweeping advance rolls they make in a combat that they are on the winning side of. These bonuses do not stack with any other rules that increase the amount of wounds inflicted when calculating who has won a combat. Okay, well that's like the most light touch fucking rule shit ever. Like, you have to charge and also you get +1 to the result of your combat.
Yeah, they're not great.
Your sweeping. Whoa, that's so light touch.
The first one, the Bearers of the Bloody Hand, you might need to do that anyway if you take the Butcher Rite of War, because all your units that have World Eater Rite of War have to do that anyway. If you're within 12 and you can charge, you've got to make a charge, which is really scary if you have speeders and stuff, because you got to play keep away. Yeah, they have no staying power. Their leadership sucks. They do have a little bit of cool shooting, and they can the old glass cannon thing. It's alright. It's good that they're represented, and I've played against them actually. I've played against them more than I have against frickin' rampages. I haven't actually played against any rampages yet. I've only played against these frickin' red hand destroyer dudes, and I'm pretty sure the last time I played against them, the dude had 10. They had 2 missile launchers with red grenades, which did a bit of damage, but luckily I had 15 dudes in my army, in my unit, normal assault troops, but I also had 3 power axes, and because I had enough bodies, as all World Eater people will do, because 75% casualty loss rate is acceptable, my power axes were still alive and managed to chop these guys' legs off and feast on the goo inside, winning the combat and shouting a glorious huzzah. So yeah, they can take up to 15. They can an additional 10, so you can have 15. Man, that's a costly unit, man. That's a costly unit. But it's cool, whatever. I'd like to see them in white. I don't rate the black on them. Hey, I thought about making a white and red unit of these dudes, but they're just too damn points wise. They're just too heavy. And the rad stuff, I'm going for a theme of Vanguard. So radiating the area before everyone else gets there, it's kind of rude, I think.
What do you reckon a full squad? I'm just creating a draft in Quartermaster, #by Quartermaster. And actually check out all of our corporate dirtbags. Grimdark Terrain, got lots of good stuff going on there. We've got a bunch of awesome corporate dirtbags. Just check in the show notes there. Sorry, I'm just trying to do like 5 things at once. I'm just trying to find that red hand unit, and I want to see like how much it would cost for like full 15-man squad with jump axe and Kadir weapons.
Yeah, well, you'd want to give the 3 of them every 5 models. So you'd give 3 of them the Thunderhammers, because that's just more points, because they're 20 points instead of 15. And then you give the rest Phalanx Blades, and then you give the Blood Bonded. He can take a power weapon for 10. Nice. He would take... Would you bother giving him he can take Chainsword for one of the following. That's a shame. He can't take a Lightning Claw and a Thunderhammer, because that gives you the extra attack. For 2 close combat weapons, that is. Artificer is 10 points, and you give him 3 of the Phosphax bombs. When is he ever going to use them? Who knows? That's another 30. It's pretty good. It's a lot of that. You could make that even close to 500 points, right? Easy.
I'm trying. I'm just gonna click 15 times. 14 times. All right, here we go. 500. 500. It's 550 points for 15 with Warhawk jump axe and 2 Phalanx blades on each guy.
Quick game's a good game. Imagine
and the blood bonded. I haven't even
couple of Scorpius just dropping freaking templates on you, rending 4+. Get out of here. 1 wound, 3+ save, leadership 7. They're not hanging around. They don't want to hang around. They don't want to be there. Let's see them read their fluff. These dudes are not going to hang around. They don't want to be there.
Yeah, the Bloodbonded is only leadership 8. Like they're only 7 base. They are stubborn though. It's not like they're not terrible. If you put a character in there, maybe to keep them safe or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
because of nemesis and
just have a whole bunch of champions that you just seed through your army. I'm feeling quite restricted by the HQ choices. I think it should be HQ choices for all. I think there should be like 6. You should be able to take 6.
I agree. I think it should be there should be sub-categories, and there should be staff officers. So you take a praetor, specific praetors, and specific. So not like Master of Signals. Would they have staff? I don't think so. But yeah, specific officers should be able to have more officers and support staff. So they have to be count as support, not as compulsory and stuff. So because that's how they roll,
imagine
man.
if you could imagine if you could take them and just add them to your command squad, and then they didn't take up a HQ slot, but they had to deploy with your command squad, and they had to stay with it just like your command squad.
That'd be.
They had to stay with the general.
A big freaking. That'd be a hell of a Death Star, though.
Yeah, but it'd be fucking sick. Like, it'd be fucking sick Death Star, and it would mean that you can't siege your seeding your characters through your army is generally a better idea, right?
Well, one would think.
Like if you could take a herald and it didn't take up a HQ slot because you just took it. Oh, I guess then you're doubling up banners. But you are gaining fearless there, because the herald is fearless. See?
Right up until he gets shot by a las cannon from a Iron Warrior that has precision shot 6+. Yeah, maybe. Or someone infiltrates their freaking Alpha Legion. That's the crappiest thing ways my HQ has died with the Blood Hunger. Mr. Eat People in combat. He's been shot by the sniper from the Alpha Legion.
Exodus, yeah.
Exodus. So he gets shot once, and I'm like, oh, he weathered that pretty good. So then I move, and the guy's like, oh yeah, rapid fire into his face, just a 3-round burst into my HQ's face. Just pop, 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 dead. The first game of 2.0 I've ever played, dead.
Fuck Exodus, he's
another
such a
Alpha Legion player. What? Yeah, another Alpha Legion player used headhunters, and infiltrated. They can take 1 multi-melter. They infiltrate. Even if you have a Auspex or whatever, it's only 18 inches. And this is where I learned never to deploy on the table and just to freaking deep strike, even though it wouldn't have mattered because they get Overwatch and they would have shot me out of the sky with the multi-melter. Anyways, multi-melter within 18, it gets a little move or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, it's 24 inches and just melts my guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's precision shot 4+. Yeah, I played against Shauna friend of the show, Shauna Shal, against his Alpha Legion, and yeah, he had those little sniper squads. But against me, Iron Hands, it goes to strength 7, so it's not instant killing my general. And I used my Seekers to shoot a couple of them, just the multi-melter guys, out of the squads, just so he wouldn't try and fucking assassinate me. Because there's one thing I hate, it's assassinations. The one thing I love doing is assassinations, so I always try to assassinate their general. But yeah, Exodus tried to. I think his unit. Exodus was in a unit, I think, and then they shot at my culverins, and I was like, "Return fire!" And then just blasted them, and then just did so many wounds they just spilled onto Exodus and just burned him alive as well. So just destroyed him and his fucking boyfriends. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It was either that or I just returned fire just into him. I remember I killed him with culverins.
Sounds like a good game, man. In the game one guy got melted, there was just a wall of mimesis getting shot at me. They killed all the apothecaries in the first turn, then they killed all my sergeants the next, and then most of my army was running away.
See, this is early Medica. You're gonna play some kooky armies where people have all kinds of crazy
that was hard lesson learnt. That was combat experience.
It is good though.
That's why I have my number 2 HQ. It's Master of Signals with Mimesis Bolter and a jump pack, just for that back end support. He's not going to hang around other with units inside a unit. No, he'd get melted by a melter gun or something. So he's definitely staying on the board. You could definitely have him hang around with a bunch of Scorpius launchers, which I'm kind of moving towards. Because you can use his line of sight, and Scorpius can stay high, hidden, and he'll have a Mimesis, which is a casual 72 inches.
Yeah. Scorpius are pretty good as well. Rending 4+ once again. Oh, the army of Rending 4+. Is it your pronoun 4+/4+?
It is now.
All right. So that is. Oh, is there anything else to talk about this World Eater?
You don't go over special characters.
No, we don't do no. Why would we do that? Okay, so at some point I'm going to get on some people. There's been a couple of Primarch pit fights that have gone on. So if you've been part of the Primarch wrestling matches or Primarch pit fights or whatever, where people bring their Primarchs and like get together and then like fight them against each other, if you have any like really good core data on that, hit me up on Instagram. Or on chat, on Facebook or chat, or Eye of Horus podcast@gmail.com, and let me know, because I want to do like a 2 episodes, one where we do loyalist, one where we do trader Primarchs, go through their rules. Now let's talk about what do we got? Oh, special reaction. Ooh-wee.
'Tis an okay reaction, I say. 'Tis good.
Top of the reactions to Alright, so Savage Tide. This advanced reaction may be made once per battle during the opposing player's shooting phase. When an enemy unit declares a shooting attack targeting a friendly unit of World Eater guys. Okay, so all models in the reacting unit gain Feel No Pain 5+ special rule against all wounds inflicted. If the reacting player blah blah blah, so it doesn't stack with Feel No Pain. Once the shooting attack has been completely resolved, the reacting unit may make a charge, following all the normal rules for targeting the enemy unit that made the shooting attack. The enemy unit may not make a reaction to this charge. Mm-hmm. So you can just choose to use it just to gain the 5+ Feel No Pain out of nowhere, or you can save it until or you can save it until you're close enough and within charge range, and then do a fucking charge, like run to their face. So, but when I think about this, that's like, imagine that stacked with warmongering a unit in, like a unit of Red Butchers, warmonger them down, assault unit, destroy them utterly, and then someone's like, okay, well, I'm going to shoot you, and then you're like, okay, so now 5+ Feel No Pain, and I charge you, I'm in, and then like, then you just more just hellish fucking
the fact that it's out of sequence, it's one of the few out of sequence reactions in the game, so that is one of the things in favor. So, and because that assault,
Space
as far as I'm aware, and I've obviously got a fuckload of things wrong already, but I believe it's an out of sequence assault, right? It's messed up, and it just messes with your mind, because it's whatever you call modern game design, or in other terms, confusing, I suppose. So yeah, it's so weird that it's because it's out of.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
Sequence, right?
Space Wolves have the same thing. Imperial Fists have the same sort of. Oh, actually, Imperial Fist one's pretty much exactly, I think, the same as this. Almost exactly the same. So yeah, just being able to, and it's really good for World Eaters because they have lots of close combat shit. So you almost always want to be like, I'll take you up on that. Let's go. You got to remember, it's only infantry types, not dreadnoughts. Doesn't apply to dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts do get the +1 attack on the charge thing, but they can't use this special reaction. It's only infantry units. So I just imagine like my units, like I'm deep striking down my Iron Hands, and then if I had a chance to like someone charges, I get to charge them instead. Like it's not only, it's better than shutting down a charge, because It's better. Yeah, it's like it's extremely good rule. Like I think it's very good.
It's one of the better advanced reactions out of sequence for the World Eaters. It plays to their strength of you get +1 attack, hooray! And it's good to regain the initiative if you're getting shot at in your turn.
Yeah, and it's really going to make people think as well. Like even if they do have something that can damage,
it's not going to make them think that hard. Trust.
No.
It's just like, oh wait, I'm outside of charge range. I'm going to shoot you. And you're like, okay.
Well,
no worries.
In that case, yes. But if they have a weapon that's a short range, such as a melter gun, they really have to decide: am I going to like get in range to use this, and then or a flamer or something? Like how are you going to operate a flamer against them? You got to get as close as possible so they can just charge you. So you got to go, am I actually going to do that? Or am I, which is just going to give them more ground? Maybe that gives them like an extra 6 inches across the table. And then into combat, and then sweeping, and then moving, and then reogging and shit. You can be halfway across the table just using that. So I think, like all of these reactions, they all have like a lot of nuance. Vehicle reactions, sponsons. Like I think people are like coming onto the idea of realizing that like, sponson weapons like heavy bolters and culverins are really good because you can like a vehicle
strength 6 or
squadron.
Lower, because you can reaction fire,
fire, return fire against infantry, and if
Overwatch
infantry unit tries to charge them, so I don't know. I think like there's also just the developing meta. Like you can see the developing meta. Like there's a way higher percentage now than there was last year of armies that are made for the edition, rather than just an army that's just had like the base amount of conversion.
Especially with rampages, obviously they sucked and were overcosted.
Last edition, they were trash,
and they were very ineffective. But this edition, they're still bad, but everything else is bad, so it kind of evens out.
And by bad, cat means good. By bad, cat means badass.
Then there are no Imperial Fists to tell you what, but they at least they got the 4+ rending.
Oh man, I hope they bring out like they said that they were gonna bring out rules for allied militia and demons and stuff. I really hope that comes.
Yeah, that's gonna hopefully that adds a little bit more flavor to the whole situation.
Imagine if you can start on the table with devils, just like next to you, just like, hey, what's up, Gargorner Sloth? Like, let's go fucking fight some shit. And he's like,
yeah, you shall kill so many fucking, take so many fucking schedule card.
And they're just like, yeah, and everyone gets like super psyched up. That's just what I've always wanted, man. I don't want to fucking have to have some guy and he has special binding chains on him, and then at some point he fucking turns into a great demon, and then I have to put him on the table, blah blah blah, all that shit. I don't want any of that. I want like the demon starting on the table within like bro fist distance of my, Astarte World Eater fucking psycho, who's just like, yeah, like that was always such a bummer. Like, cause in the fluff,
that's a good way to get shot in the face.
Fluff, they always like hang out.
That's why I deep strike everything, or at least I jump pack everything in that needs to get an assault, because it's better just getting shot those first couple of times rather than getting shot across the table the entire time. Well, you still have the option of just like deep striking a flappy winged demon prince, right? Surely. Scream! Yeah, just I hope so. That'd be sick. Oh shit! That's something. If I could take, I'm holding my bloodthirster in reserve. Demon Angron would be sick in game. He would actually. Does Demon Angron have wings? Queen. He doesn't have wings, does he? Does he got wings? He's got wings. Demon Angron, yeah. Oh god. That's how. Haven't you seen the new book? It's like him flapping down. It's just like, or whatever the Dune ornithopters sound like, cats purring and stuff. Yeah, that's how he flies. Angron is just an idea to me, man. It doesn't have any kind of definition. It doesn't need any kind of it doesn't need your boundaries, man. Wings and shit. But yeah, okay. So, let's talk about the rights of war. So there's 2 rights of war. First one is Berserker Assault. This one is all units comprised of models with Legion and Studies World Eaters add +2 to the distance moved when running. So that's pretty fucking good, right? That's good, right? Surely that's good. It's pretty good. It means you're getting 4 at the minimum.
So you're running
definitely
13.
I've definitely only gotten 4 when I needed 6 a lot of times. But hey, you can get
No, running is just set initiative now.
Correction. Yeah, sorry, I'm ahead of myself.
6.
I'm talking about assault.
Oh yeah, no, it's straight up 6. So you'd be
running. I don't care about running. That's why I take
running
jump packs.
13.
Whatever,
instead of
bro.
running 11.
Yeah, go
Okay.
on, get shot in the face.
All right,
you get shot in the face.
Yeah, but you can use your jump pack and run, can't you?
You can, but no, hopefully you're not having to do that because again, you're getting shot in the face. Because if you run, you're not going to be able to assault.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. So all units composed entirely. So this doesn't help you at all. Okay. All right. Is what you're trying to say.
Not the run. And it could,
just because you're jumping.
If you
in
want
your
to be able to
specific
contest
situation,
or end a game, you got to contest, or you want to, I don't know, be a coward and run away and not having to do your charge for this because one of the limitations is you need to charge if you're in range. So you can do some weird tricksy stuff. Is it in the spirit of the game? No, it's not. So report it, I guess.
This says all-out infantry assaults supported by fast-moving armor. Who's driving that fast-moving armor?
Well, this was based on Isfahan 3, right? So apparently they were speed demons, like you said,
at that point.
Weirdos.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So, all units composed entirely of models with Legion studies. World Eater special rule gain a bonus of +2 to all charge rolls made for them. That's pretty good. All units composed entirely of models with Legion studies. World Eater special rule gain +1 to their leadership when making pinning checks. Ooh, not bad. To a max of 10. Rampages go up to 9.
It's not that great.
Rampages go up to stubborn 9. Oh, up to 9. And that's stubborn 9 too, so it's not affected by fear, so which can be good. Especially with all these like fear brackets for Blood Angels guys going around. Rampager squads may be taken as troops choices in a detachment using this rite of war. And Legion Predator squadrons may be taken as fast attack choices. So that's what the fast armor is. Except that is quickly abandoned straight after this. Yeah, I guess, like, interesting. Why would you want to replace your fast attack, like, speeders and shit with predators? It doesn't restrict how many heavy support choices you...
If you wanted to... No, it doesn't, but you can spam predators then, if you want. Or if you want... I don't know.
Yeah, army's just entirely just, like, rampage...
World Eater predators.
Yeah, imagine just an army of all just despoilers.
Just max predators.
It's just nothing but despoilers and predators.
Yeah. And because vehicle squadrons suck in this edition, you're better off taking individual predators, right? So you could take, 6 predators as individuals. It's kind of cool. Don't know why you would, but the option's there if you take this rite of war. And it's kind of weird.
I would say you'd be allowed to take Sicarons, right? Why wouldn't you be able to? It's just fast armor. Sicarons, you could still take them as heavies. Still take a couple of Punishers, just for, like...
Yeah, but
I mean, you're just going to need tons of anti-tank,
right? The flagship tank of the legions, right?
Oh, the legions.
Oh, the legions. Yeah, it's the MBT of the heresy.
Well, I guess you're going to fill your heavy support slots with Kratos, and then you're going to need those fast attack slots for predators. I believe so. The World Eaters were early adopters of the Kratos and happened to like it. And in particular,
the whole army was designed about tank warfare, bro. 100%. And I don't know. You can co-power if you like, dude. It's like, oh yeah, they used everything organically, and they weren't that dumb, and they totally didn't. Just get out of your tank.
They particularly liked how it looked like a Sicaron, but went half the speed of Sicaron on a good day. All right.
You can take rampages as troops, but they don't get lion in this, which is specific, so they can't capture objectives. They still be able to contest, as everything can, or most things can. This is the rite of war that I'm going towards more with what I've been using now is this, but with assault, 3 units of 15-man assault squads done up with 3 power axes, which I have chopped up a stupid freaking Alpha Legion special character, the dude with the sword, whoever that is.
Oh yeah. Autolan Score.
Didn't catch his name. Too busy chopping them up with power axes. Sorry, bro. Boom. and then chopped him up into a fine dust, sniffed him onto the next assault.
Yeah, no, I cut his. By the way. Yeah, I cut his hand off and put it on my knight errant. He has that arm.
Oh, nice. That's a sick way of doing it. Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet
but yeah, I want to do this Rampager squads and just take my troops as Rampager squads. Yes, I won't have any line, but you get that on big jobs.
Yeah, who says you have to have line too, bro?
Yeah, line's overrated, dude. Screw it.
Okay, well, let's compare this with the Crimson Path, and then we can decide if like any of the other generic ones are any good before we close out the show. So, Crimson Path. Any unit composed entirely of models with both infantry unit type and Legion Astarte World Eater special rule ignores the first wound inflicted on that unit in each phase.
See, that's good unless you're playing with somebody that has some sort of experience, so they will just shoot you with the crappier weapons first, and then you'll ignore, obviously, the first damaging boy first. It does make your opponent think, which from my experience isn't the best, because it just means you're going to burn your time out, because they're going to be like, should I? They'll just chess master you and be like, oh, I've got to do this and this and this. I'm just
which
like,
weapon should I choose?
Punch on. Let's just punch on, bro. Yeah, so it can, but it can be kind of fun. A little bit of fun.
Yeah, if you're like me and you just get to a point where you're just like, fuck, I don't know what's happening. I need to fucking think about this. Yeah, that would just throws a huge spanner in the works. Okay, so but yeah, that what that does mean though is the first wound in every phase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in each phase. So not like every now and then you're gonna just stop a fucking las cannon from instant killing one of your rampages, for example. Like when someone fires like 3 las cannons at you and they get two pluses, you just ignore one straight up.
Right, but I just said, that's why you have to do it the first one. So if they'll just shoot you with bolters first, they'll get the wound, you'll ignore it.
But are they gonna fucking think about that there? Are they gonna think about like, oh yeah, we need to like tease out that first wound with our fucking, but then like they're just instant killing a single.
It's the kind of thing. It's the kind of rule. It's the kind of thing. The opponent that is taking that into consideration is the opponent you don't want to, and the opponent that is like it's just not.
This is some fucking 3D 40 level chess shit. Because think about this, right? Consider this.
This is some 4+ rendering chess shit, bro.
Consider this. You fire your shot. You go to roll a wound. They then have
to ignore the first one with sick.
And
then you roll the rest.
First wound inflicted. So before you even roll, you just discard it.
Yes, right? So that's why you shoot them with bolters and the trashy stuff first, and then you shoot them with stuff.
Okay, so if you fire your trashy shit though, and you only take a single wound off, when they fire that las cannon, they're just gonna, because that guy is pre-wounded, when they do fire those las cannons next time, they're just gonna take, if you do it the other way around, so instead of me just firing my las cannon and killing you, you fire all your little bolt guns and shit and like manage to scrape one wound off my guy. He's now pre-wounded, so when I fire my las cannons, the first shot has to go to that guy anyway. So he's still gonna die. It's gonna have the same.
They're world eaters, dude. They're all pre-wounded and before the table, if not in body or mind, in their hearts, because Daddy Angron hurt them.
Have you rubbed me? If you've just wasted all that fire to do one wound,
I think I have.
And then
it's not great, dude. Because there are ways around it. If you're playing against someone that knows, it's aware of that rule, which we just made a few people aware of that rule. Yeah, if someone's using
hopefully someone
the Crimson Path, make sure that your shooting sequence, you're thinking about that, so you're not wasting las cannon shots, more expensive shooting against these dudes. It is cool, and it's good that it's every phase. It's not just your turn, which is effectively a free save.
Yeah, hopefully people remember that totally melted shit I just said then, and that just reminds them, oh, that's right, that rule. Okay.
Full melt
done. Alright, so all models with independent character And Legion studies World Eater rule. In a detachment, gain this in this rite of war, gain the It Will Not Die on a 5+ special rule. Whilst outside of their own deployment zone, does not stack with other versions of It Will Not Die. So basically, all your World Eater independent characters gain It Will Not Die 5+. And Rampager squads in a detachment using this rite of war gain the line unit subtype. This doesn't adjust them into troops, though, right? But it does give them
an elite
line.
choice.
There's still an
But
elite.
that's the
However,
thing.
they
So
gain
like,
line.
I could once I do my
So you can either have them as troops and not line,
I can have 3 squads of rampages and 3 squads of assault troops, and that's line. You can, if you are line oriented, and then you can definitely get a lot of line and capability. 3 squads of rampages that align in your elite choice, 3 squads of jump packs or whoever, tactical marines, and that you can definitely spam line in this one, which is bizarre. But infantry tactics were one of the strengths of the World Eaters, despite the fact they had a 70% casualty rate on their missions.
So wait, if you have 3 units of rampages, give them a line, and then they're in elite choices, and then 3 units of assault squads that are all just troops and line.
That's some fast line, dude. That's a lot of fast
fucking
line.
60 line. At base, maybe 15-man squads. Bump up those numbers a little bit.
Prepare for line port.
That'll be a ton of line. And then you can just throw, it doesn't matter which, like, it means everyone has the same, they're all line, right? So none of them are better than the others, so none of them are more of a suicide squad than the others, meaning that they're all suicide squads.
Yeah, and it's really weird because you don't, there's more survivability in the game as stuff dies, so the chances of, it's like that movie kind of moment where you're holding on to the objective, and because you get that ignore that wound in the phase, there's more survivability end game, I think, because less shooting, I suppose.
Yeah, the bad news is that it needs to be a loyalist World Eater army, because you need the Callous Assassin to just be on the table and not be able to be attacked. And then you just wait for teleport, basically. Because the best game is a quick game, and the fastest game is a game where your shit doesn't actually arrive until turn 4.
So how are you stopping
and
it
they
from
can't interact with your shit, huh?
How are you stopping it from coming on the table there?
No, you just have a Callous Assassin.
Mm-hmm.
And then she can't be targeted, so she's on the table deployed. The enemy can't interact with her, and then that means you can't be tabled. So all of your shit can be in reserve, because there's no rule about reserve. So then you just like roll a d6, and you might roll like 3 ones in a row. Like 2-1. What did I roll?
That's what you're counting on. That you're gonna roll 3 ones in a row. This is your big plan.
No, I'm not counting on that. I'm just saying, like, you could roll like a 1 and a 1, option, and then turn 4 it comes automatically.
Chances are it's not gonna happen that way.
Yeah, chances are you're just gonna roll and it's gonna come, and then you just like deep strike with your 6.
And
six
it's not like the enemy's gonna be like, oh, that's a lot of jump troops on turn 4. Better stay away from those objectives and let him take it.
Well, why would the other person be upset? Like, all they've done is they're missing.
They'll probably go to the objectives.
They're missing 2 to 3 turns
of shooting. They get the buffs on the objectives as well. Like,
if it's a mission where you get to just camp the objectives and then you get points for being on them, then maybe they can get more points. But I reckon because you'd need to jump. But you are all jump, so you could drop down in a big blob, radiate out 12 inches from the original blob, and then each assault squad just goes after a different objective and tries to clear it. That'd be fucking sick. And then the Callous Assassin obviously starts stabbing people. The only problem is having to be a loyalist World Eater is kind of bizarre.
Hey, lead 'em here. There's another solution that I can suggest, and that is the Alpha Legion Saboteur. So it's a console type specific to the Alpha Legion, and what it gives you is a rule called False Colors. A unit composed entirely of models with a special rule may not be targeted with a shooting attack by an enemy unit as long as the unit with a special rule has not made a shooting attack at any point in the battle. And that only breaks once you shoot or you charge.
Wow, there you could best take unit in the World Eater's army is not a World Eater. Terrific.
It's either a fucking Imperial Assassin or an Alpha Legion dude. But you could take that as a HQ in an allied slot cut, and then take some Alpha Legion. Yeah, it kind of like breaks the theme, doesn't it? I guess you could have an
Certainly
Alpha
does.
Legion assault squad or something.
Well, they're the guys who are like, they're keeping an eye on the fortifications or the objective, and then they're like, all right, call in the world eaters, drop them in. And then
No, I'd never play loyalist world eaters. I went full trader. Well, and it's not even a trader. One man's trader is another man's freedom fighter or whatever.
It could be like a cool fucking thing, actually. Like, imagine there's a space war going on, and this Alpha Legion operative guy who's like super shit hot, but he's just like, fuck, I'm like locked down. There's like incoming loyalists or whatever. And then he's just like puts out the call, and he's just like, anyone, I need help from anyone. And then this world eater, like Cat's fucking space brats, just start revving their chain axes, and they're like, oh yeah, let's go help this guy out. And then just suddenly just like start slamming down drop fucking pods or whatever the fuck, or like jumping out of fucking Thunderhawks and shit, and like assaulting the the enemy who are going after the operative. That sounds kind of cool, because then his whole thing is that he's just on the table at the start of the game, just trying to hide. But it's kind of a pain in the ass you've got to have a troops choice and shit to make it a legal allied slot. I don't know how you'd figure that out. Have to have some Alpha Legion Berserk. What about Alpha Legion Berserkers, right? Some of the Alpha Legion must worship Khorne.
Oh, that's a good point. You could always take... Alpha Legion can take rampages, right? As the... Oh, no, it has to be a loyalist point, isn't it?
No. It can be anyone.
No,
you can make like a
unit.
dual...
Yeah, you can take 3 units.
Oh, because if you're making 3 rampages anyway, that'll allow you like so much flexibility too, switching between the two. Because then you could just run a coil list where you run all 3 of your rampages.
Loyalist, man.
Huh?
Loyalist players in Heresy, man.
No, you don't have to be a loyalist.
No, they don't have to be loyalists, man.
They're loyalist. No, screw them.
Who?
Screw them.
Alpha
screw
Legion
anyone. Screw the Alpha Legion, dude. You don't know with them.
Yeah, you're probably not Battle Brothers
or
anything.
Know.
You're probably like more...
They are not Battle Brothers. The only Battle Brothers they have are the freaking Iron Warriors.
Yeah. Alright, seeing as this is a World Eaters episode, let's look up that fucking allied chart. Like, does anyone know where that is? Is that in the...
I think it's in the Libya, the Hereticus Onus. I will click Controllers Find Us.
Okay.
Because surely everyone hates them, right?
Who doesn't have it on their wall, right? Or in their bathroom?
Oh, it's on my Duna cover, but that's upstairs.
No, there we go. It is page 14... Correction, page 12. Page 12 of the, loyalist or traitorist.
Oh, no.
Wait, page what? Page what?
Looketh.
Page what?
Page 12.
Oh, 12.
In Heretics or Loyalist Liber. World Eaters, smack dab in the middle there. They see the Alpha Legion as complete jacks. Oh no, that's me. No, they see them as very untrusted. It's a red skull. That's
a red skull,
good, right?
No.
By the Emperor's or the War Master's command. Well, you really thought about
not only that, Cat. It's a red skull where
will only fight.
It's the red skull of friendship.
It's a red skull where part of the skull is like breaking up in fragments.
It's getting a little drill in its brain. Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's going to cost you another 20 points.
It's got a fragmenting skull. The fragmenting red skull. Like, can't be good. It's generally not a sign of like endearment.
Whenever you're within 6 inches of the unit. Yeah, no, that's ludicrous. Ludicrous. See? Even as a true world eater, I knew not to trust them, and it's even there in black and white, sir. Page 12, clear as day.
Cut and dry.
No, I just don't ally with people. They should go more in the line of the fluff, and they had Sarum, a Forge World. They had Newman gun clans associated with them. They should have that as their allies, because everyone else kind of shunned them.
Yeah, how come
they were shunned, and they were part of the Carnival of Carnage.
Yeah, I feel like all of the legions had like Mechanicum with them enough that you would be able to have Battle Brothers with like your own guys that have been in your fleet for 200 years, right? And then because there's going to be tons of Mechanicum units, just like all the Cybernetica and all that other shit. They should definitely be like allied. How come the old World Eaters are just like indifferent to Space Wolves? Didn't Space Wolves almost just fucking totally jack their shit?
No, what? What story did you read?
Well, on this podcast, sir,
put them in the bin, sir.
It's been established
Russ got his head kicked in.
No,
it wasn't the first time it happened either.
But there was a point where literally Angron, and like it's been established by people on this show telling me this, but basically Angron was there, and there was just like 50
Who are these
dudes,
people, Tim? I'll fight them.
The Space Wolves, and there was like 50 dudes with las cannons just pointing them at Angron, going, "We're gonna fucking cut you in. We're gonna cut you in half." Because that's
Randy. I'm not fighting Randy.
They're like, we're gonna fucking cut you in half with las cannons if you don't fuck off, cunt. And then he like left. That's what I heard. But maybe that's just they're just like, oh
left.
well, nothing.
He just got up,
business.
packed up his gear, and left.
Yeah, and he fucked off. Yeah, that's what happened, right? That's what happened. Well, they didn't shoot him to death with las cannons when they had him surrounded, so that maybe I'm totally wrong. The listeners. Write in, send your scorn in. Also, anything if Kat sent anything offensive, write in eyeofhoruspodcast@gmail.com and you can join the class action.
Yeah, and get all my and dox me and get in line. What about the other warlord traits? Are there anything good? I kind of like that one. I might run that warlord trait though, specifically just because of just to get some line. It depends. It's good that you have options, not vastly changing the army, but at least for that one you can have.
What makes it super
allies.
Tactical? Yeah, like it's super flexible.
You can have allies. Yeah, you can.
Super tactical.
You can get a little bit more flavor out of it, and for a small investment of an allied, even if they are red skulls of shattered brains, you can have a little bit more.
And that's like every last model in those units too, except for the characters have line. So. You just got to get just got to crawl into an objective. Remember that like movie with Robert Redford where they put him in, where he's a general, and then they put him in prison, and then he's like, I'm gonna fucking fly the flag upside down, and then we win. And
Sneakers.
No.
What about Ravenous? That was a pretty cool movie.
No, not Ravenous.
Yeah, do that. That is that's
Robert
one of the
Redford,
warlord traits. Is Ravenous?
Robert Redford. But he just keeps going and they're shooting with shotguns. They're like, stop him raising the flag. He's going to raise it upside down. No, stop him. And they're all just blasting him with shotties. And he's like, hey, I'm a general. I've got 4 wounds. And then he just like...
I'm a general. I have 4 wounds.
Pulls the flag, like... pulls it upside down. And then he dies because they've just blasted him with shotties for fucking 5 minutes. Great.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Great movie.
Shotties in this edition are pretty hard.
Great movie. I saw that movie on a date
general
with
a flag.
Yeah. And then it's just this like endless shotgun blasting at the end. That's crazy. All right. Fuck. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Like you mentioned like the generic rights of war. The generic warlord traits. None of them are as good as those fucking other ones. Like the ones that the world eaters get.
Correct.
There's one that allows you to run an extra inch or some shit. You know. You may, if there's some reason, if you're really playing like the 4D chess, or possibly even 5D, in 2023. Now it's 2023. You just keep adding more dimensions to the chess. You could. No, do you want to give away strats? Should we give away strats? I don't know. I don't want to give away too much about the 2023 meta. Still evolving. But I think we're going to see like World Eaters make a big comeback, mainly because of tactics like that,
the Flax Blade. That's the tactic.
The Flax Blade.
That's the tactic.
Well, we didn't even talk about the land
here with
speeder.
This best weapon in world for some reason.
Hey, we didn't talk about land speeder rush.
Have you talked about the Newman gun clans yet?
Is that giving away too much?
Any kind of have you got any insights to offer about how you would do allies with them?
There's 0 Newman.
I've tried, man. I've tried, and it's way too hard because one of the warlord traits don't allow you to take allies. The Crimson Path.
Ooh.
Not Crimson Path. Whatever the hell, the one where you get extra 2 inches to your movement and charge.
Yeah, Berserker Assault.
Sorry, correction, not charge. Run and charge. Yes, Berserker Assault, you can't take allies. That used to be you could not take Astartes allies. In this edition, it's allies across the board. So that's limiting.
Same, yeah.
That's freaking limiting.
Yeah.
So there's only the other one that you can take allies with.
Same Pride of the Legion.
Which, yeah, and Solar Ox are just so freaking muted. I wouldn't even bother. Yeah, I'd just take just do up all your vehicles, your predators, and
wait, what are the fucking gun clans? Because I
stuff.
always think of them as like gunslinging dudes, just like, yeah, we're from Bod.
Well, it used to be part of the old. As the legend goes, is it used to be there used to be part of the old 100 on Terra.
Oh,
and
really?
They rocked around on the 13th Expeditionary Fleet, or whatever it is, the dubbed the Carnival of Carnage, with. So they rocked around with the World Eaters. They were rocking around. And then you get to the world of Sarum, and the Sarum were under attack by orcs and some mercenary people, and they were like, "Oh, let's go kill those mercenaries and stuff." And Sarum Forge was like, "Oh, yay! Look, some welcome strangers are here to help us." So then these welcome strangers, World Eaters, started killed all the orcs and killed all the mercenaries, and then started killing all the Sarum dudes. And they were like, "Hey, stop. Please." So they killed a lot of them, and then they said, bow now. And they were like, all right, we'll totally be your Forge World then, since you'll just kill us if we don't, I guess. So then they were rocking around, and then Audax from Mars got ordered to join them as well, because they kept on killing civilians in one campaign. They were fighting on a world, because Audax originally from Mars, and they were fighting on a world, and then there was an insurgency, and they were just like, hey, let's just randomly kill civilians.
Who Audax were?
Some of them have to be insurgents.
Whoa.
So they were just indiscriminately killing civilians, and they were like, Mars said, no, stop that. No, you're banished to the 13th Expeditionary Fleet of Weirdos.
Wow.
And you can't get any, you're no longer allowed to have a home world. You're no longer allowed to get resupplied or refit. So you just keep warring until you die. But because Sarum are already part of this carnival of memes, they said, yo, we can just resupply you, because that's like our whole thing that we do. We're like mechanics, right? And they're like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, what else we can give you? These freaking big-ass hook things, these Ursa's Claw things that we've put on the ships of freaking World Eaters. So we just put that on your hands and stuff too. And I'm like, oh yeah, sweet. So
a smaller version
during
for
the
your
Crusade.
Titans, yeah.
That was during the freaking Crusade, and they were like, oh yeah. So then you just had all these
That's a happy coincidence.
boys rocking around with each other. Then they found the world of Bodat, which was a death world, a volcanic-y boy. And they all made that their home. And there were native people there. Anyway, so then, they kind of meshed in with the Newman gun clans. And then the gun clans, it's like a full army base, but it's a world. And Sarum made it their home, Audax made it their home. It's just full of training grounds and stuff. And the cool thing is, in the Newman gun clans, one day you could grow up and go and do live fire exercises against World Eaters, and if you did good enough, you could get a chance to become a World Eater.
maybe they didn't kill you.
So it was such a good life for everyone. And then someone decided to park a moon into the freaking world during the heresy. Freaking remember Bod.
It's like the fucking ultimate, just like fucking worst place to ever happen.
They have some of the richest history, I think, and outside of the Primarch crap, they have some rich history which could really be established upon. Yeah. But they're refusing to do that for some reason. But it's there, and there are bits and pieces, especially I get most of my stuff from the black books. But definitely have a look at that. And even if you just want to do a, Mechanicum army that's Sarum, or just a Solar Ox army that is gun clans, definitely cool stuff you could do. You can just do a late heresy army of World Eaters, and if you want to have a lot of tanks in there and want to justify it somehow, but you don't want to paint a bunch of legionary tank colors, you can paint them olive drab green and put a whole bunch of reactive armor on it or something, and have a really different composition of the army, a bunch of World Eaters and then a bunch of olive drab or urban camouflage tanks or whatever, with humans driving them and stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do there, and that's still within inside the left and right of arc of the fluff of the World Eater. So it's very diverse in a artistic sense, but yeah, and outside of hitting stuff with axes, you're kind of out of luck.
Well, yeah. Hopefully there'll be demons and you know, like actual like militia or you know militia tanks, like more customizable rosters and things like that, maybe, or something like that. Is that so?
Yeah, or you know, more Felx blades that I can just give to everybody. That'd be great too. Whatever, just everyone, just get a Felx blade, just pick it up.
Imagine if Bloodletter's got Felx blades. Ooh, surely a Felx
maybe that's where the Felx blades are from the whole time. Oh my god.
All right. Okay. Well, that's everything. Thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully you've got some information out of that somewhere through us talking about the rules. I think I just haven't seen anyone like with World Eater armies in the new edition, and I think maybe except for Josh, who ran his like, you know, Fear of the Ancients. But I think maybe that they're not I think it's not that they're not that powerful. I think that maybe just they got hit hardest by the whole like, you need to fucking rebuild your whole army now, motherfucker, because the meta's just changed inexplicably thing.
Definitely. Painting 45 useless dudes that always run away is definitely taking its toll. So now I get to paint another 40 dudes with Felix blades that might only sometimes run away with stubborn 8. Delicious. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. So I think like we'll see as people adjust their armies, build new shit. I know lots of like World Eater armies also were like pretty tank heavy and super heavy. Like if you think about classic things such as Dom Febreze, like World Eater stuff, like, you know how you had that.
Yes, apparently he sold it.
Ooh, well, there you go. Lots of Spartans and things like that World Eater armies always seem to have, and they became like a lot less fucking certain in this new edition due to Melter, and there not being any like just being able to be Melter bombed or more importantly just multi-melted out of nowhere really seems to have driven tanks into the shadows a little bit. But I don't know. I think we're gonna see people start running more rampages, and also just like red butchers with if you're a World Eater person and you have red butchers, make a Terminator fucking dude. Doesn't need to be anything special. He's now a Warmonger.
Well, you said he doesn't have to be a Terminator dude to be a Warmonger.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. He doesn't have to be a Terminator.
Would you bother doing like? I don't know.
I do it just for style, just because like I imagine if the Terminators are teleporting, surely he's the master of teleporting. Why he would be teleporting? But they don't have to. Like, he could just be some World Eater dude who's just like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking here to authorize this situation. You just need my blood drop, right, on a pad or something? And they're like, yeah, Captain. And then he just gives the blood pat, and then he's like, okay, time to let my psychosis take over while we're in the battlefield. And then just picks up a chain axe in each hand and just starts fucking screaming. And then that's a
good take. For an aesthetic, instead of getting drilled to the brain as his thing, it's combat drugs instead, and that's why he's in line with the red butchers instead of getting drilled to the brain. So combat drugs might work better.
Yeah. And, you know, the
having a crack pipe in his mouth.
Well, and remember, Warmonger, you have to take a dangerous terrain check on everyone after you teleport as well, so they could totally be his like crack teleport. It's not just like
that's a good point.
Not right. He's not.
That's a really good point. You could just say that they're all jacked up,
bro. Yeah, and plus, if you have a teleport that's just like, yeah, it's 98%, and you're like, what does 98% mean? And they're like, 90%, you get there. And you're like, what happens the other 2 times? Well, something else happens. And what happens to me? Well, something else happens to you. We don't know. It's teleport, bro. It's fucking tricky. So, if you've got that, you're not going to use that on your main boys. You're going to use that on Red Butchers, right? Because they're just insane men trapped in fucking armor. So you use the fucking janky fucking teleport for them, and then everyone else just... Oh, I guess like everyone else is just jump packing out of a fucking Thunderhawk or some shit, right? Do you have models to represent your like air wing that's deploying all of these jump pack guys?
No, I'm not gonna go and get that. I just assume they just get teleported into the sky, and wherever they land, 70% casualty rate, bro.
Them
Whatever.
a kilometer up.
Whatever. You're good to go, right? Paratroopers.
I guess it's not like no reason.
That's how I'd imagine it, because again, the whole pilot thingies, and they're just probably not the best thing to do.
Oh yeah, that's true. So he orders all the people out of the tanks,
and then they teleport their ass like just below the atmosphere, I guess.
Wait, hold on.
Good luck.
Were they at a huge parade, and Angron goes, okay, and he's just listing off shit, and he's got like a clipboard or whatever, and then he goes, oh yeah, one more thing, fucking everyone who's a tank driver, yeah, just ditch it.
It's in book 6. If you don't believe me, it's in book 6.
Wait, hold on.
If you don't see it, it's not in your book 6.
I just want to know if this is the situation. And then he goes, you got to ditch your tanks, go get a chain axe from fucking Quartermaster or whatever, from the chain axe bins. You're now assault troops. And then everyone's like, whoa, holy shit, oh my god. And then like everyone's like whispering and shit, and everyone's like, whoa.
You're like, whoa, I'm glad I'm not a psycho still, at least.
Yeah, and then all the pilots are standing up to one side, and they're like, phew, thank fuck.
I can see that, and they've got scarves and they're drinking tea, and they're like, oh, lucky that we're not having to deal with such things like that. How uncouth, I say.
It'd be terribly poor show if we had to run into combat like fools, and then Angron's just like, oh yeah, one more thing. All pilots, you also have to fucking go and then like, damn
classic state. That's a classic T spit at the moment. What did he say? My goodness, I'm going to be getting a lateral transfer to a different legion. I say this is bloody uncalled for.
Iron Warriors will take us.
Yeah, far out. You'd go anywhere, right? What's another legion that you'd go to? Like the world, you're not doing too good in the World Eaters, right? 70% death rate.
No other legions.
That's not great.
The other legions can't just take you as well. Like, surely, can they?
Well, I don't know. Black Shields.
Not unless they're extremely well organized, because they need to set up all their DNA and all their other shit for you, right? For each because legions have
I don't know, man. What about that White Scars?
They all have different organs and stuff.
I'm gonna go be a Sons of Horus guy, and it's like, oh, sorry, you've been training the past 3 years for that, but
think about all the drug concoctions and shit they have that are specialized to each legion.
Well, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I don't think Angron's actually the Primarch of the World Eaters. He's way too much of a simp for Lutara. He would have been part of a simp legion.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
World Eaters are too damn good for him.
So you don't. So you're.
It's like.
Why didn't you get loyalists then? Loyalist World Eaters.
You know how animals can smell their kin.
Yeah.
That's why Angron hates. That's why Angron kills all of his sons. Like he doesn't like. He's not their father. He's not like Gene Sire. Not my Gene Sire, sir.
So what happened to his legion?
If he's anything, he's freaking Lutara's Gene Sire. Dude simps harder than her than freaking. I don't know. No, I was going to say something real bad there, but I won't because I'm good. I should be lavish with praise because I didn't say that.
All right. Well, good work. Very good work. Not saying that thing that we don't know what you fucking were going to say. But, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. And one last thing as well, while Kat's talking about what's her name? Lutara Saren. If you find out figure out what her name is and how to spell it and type that in and then type hentai, it comes up with like Jesus.
No. Do not listen to that man. Do not do anything that says hentai.
Do not do that.
I
was tricked into doing that search and like Jesus, like so there's some people out there and I don't know who they are. Maybe they're secret people in the Horus Heresy community. I don't think so because I don't really like. I'd say like Like, I think mostly the heresy community is just too boomer to be secret weebs. Is that what the kids say?
100%. Like, I've tried with edgy humor with heresy, man, and though some people get a bit of a chuckle out of it, it kind of goes over a lot of people's heads. But if you want more, if you want some edgy humor, head over to Cat's Viral Sensation, and I'll humor you up there, whoever you are.
So yeah,
good memes.
Cat's Viral Sensation on Instagram. He always has some good subs from people sending in memes, and he republishes them. It's good shit. Good shit over there. Cat's Viral Sensation. And then also check out the Outer Circle. We'll probably be having another argument / debate / thing in the next few weeks or so, right? Like another.
Yeah, and that's live. It's usually on a Sunday
Saturday
Eastern
night
Standard Time.
Saturday night, right? It was
like
Saturday night last
Sunday,
week.
But I guess it's Saturday this time. All right, sorry, me and time. It's too many drills to the head, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Saturday nights, and it's live, and you can talk in the chat and tell us how wrong we are with our tier lists, even though it's a panel of 5. Panel of 5. No one else is doing that, dude. History of YouTube, no one else has done that. So we can't do that.
What does that mean?
I don't even know, bro. I'm just reading
need
what
a
you
gavel,
gave me to read, bro.
It's all on you to get a gavel now. Maybe a cloak, some kind of ceremonial brooch or something, and a sash.
A ceremonial hat. I don't know what do I need? A mortarborn or something?
Just some authoritative thing, and the ability to like clack on a thing. And you need a more swingy chair, and you need to like hurry us along more.
Yeah. Oh, also make sure you go along and in chat tell everyone your favorite commentator, because the commentator with the least favorable comments will be kicked from the chat.
I thought you were going to say executed.
Mm-hmm.
It was a decimation or whatever.
Yep.
Well, that's the one thing Perturabo and Angron had in common a lot, was their... Is it decimation?
Yeah.
Decimation? Just where 1 in every 10 dudes gets beaten to death by the other 9 dudes.
Yep.
Is that why they're battle brothers? Just because they're like, yeah, that's a terrific way to instill discipline. That's why we consistently have to do it.
That's so crazy.
It's
the craziest thing is that that people in real life like actually fucking forced somehow just got other people to do that. Imagine having
you reckon you could do that at an event? Make people do that? At an event? Probably don't try.
You need to decimate this event. We're fucking one table down. Well, I mean, we don't have enough.
It's a door prize. Congratulations, you get decimated.
There's 20 people here. There's 22 people here, and we've only got 10 tables, so we need to decimate this event. If we kill those 2 people, boom, we're fine. Yeah, see?
And then you auction off the armies and their pants and stuff.
Yeah,
easy.
And then the event's free, and then everyone gets to take home a couple of miniatures to remember the event, the thing. Yeah, but yeah, no, that like in Minecraft, in a Minecraft setting is what.
Oh yeah, Minecraft Terra for sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then and also, one last shout out. If anyone out there is into MechWarrior Online, you can now do private lobbies. So we were playing the other night. We had 2 times, like 2, what are they called? Stars or lances? 2 lances? 4v4? I'm sure via people in this podcast, there's lots of Battletech people. MechWarrior Online, it's a free game. I reckon we could get a server almost full of people that we know, and then just shoot each other with PPCs. It'd be sick. Mm-hmm. So if anyone's interested,
if you ever wanted to hunt down and kill Tim, then you can do it in MechWarrior.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to hunt me down, or and you'll get fucking destroyed by Michael. That'd be the funniest thing. Michael's a fucking it's just us. Most of the games, it's like whoever's on Michael's team, you're just like, yes, thank goodness. I can just follow him around while he just hunts these fools. And just be
100%. It's like if you're the traders and he's the Sons of Horus and everyone else is inept at the game. Because he's just a hard carry. Hard carry, I say. Especially me, I just press W key towards the enemy. And everyone has a cry. It's like, what are you doing playing the game and actually shooting and fighting? It's like, what? It's freaking mech warrior, man. It's not T Simulator 300. Go back to be a freaking world leader pilot, you weirdo.
T Simulator? Yeah. Oh, man. It sucks that, like... But how did they get down to the planets then if the pilots... I don't think the pilots counted towards... I don't think pilots count towards the tank crews. Because they must have still had pilots. Not even Angron could disband the pilots. How would they go anywhere? They wouldn't be able to fucking go anywhere. They'd be on a ship.
They had a lot of human pilots. Like, look at Lutara. They were like,
but she's a captain. She's some sort of, like, Mentat style chick, though, isn't she?
No, she's just a 20-year-old chick.
Yeah, but she's like augmented or some shit,
bro.
right?
She's like, oh my god, they're as bad as dudes now. Oh my god, look, a 20-year-old chick. Whoa, you must know everything. Like, well done, Angron and crew, dumbass.
No, but she's like, isn't she augmented or something?
No.
She doesn't have some sort of like power. She's not like a...
She's a 20-year-old chick. That's how much more power do you want?
Well, she must
you want to be overpowered?
She's like a Doogie Howser version of...
Do you know the ending? There is a spoiler there, but I won't say it because a lot of people don't know how that ends. But it's quite intriguing unless you know basic story writing, and then it's obvious. But you know, whatevs. Turns all right out in the end.
What's the story?
If you've done any fan art of Lotara, Saren?
No. You don't even understand. Don't even say it.
You can get a miniature of Lotara Saren from... There is a dude who made a 3D... I think they do... It's the one I'm getting the...
A 3D what?
Angron... A 3D print. Like, you can get it either printed or the file of Lotara. She either has a plasma pistol or a... She has a las pistol in the game, so it makes no sense why she has a plasma in the thing.
Wouldn't you want a picture of her on like an anime pillow instead? Wouldn't that be more appropriate?
Imagine bringing one to an event, dude. You're a World Eater player with your red, correction, your blue and white freaking World Eaters because you're a weirdo. And you got this freaking Lotara body pillow and you come in. What do people do? And that's part of the game, right? Because World Eaters are so hard to win with, right? To play the mind game.
Wait, what do you do? I
definitely recommend, if you're not jacked and you're not doing push-ups and stuff and you're not loud or you don't have tiny shorts, a body pillow would definitely throw that over the edge. And hey, if you want to add some more ambiance to that body pillow, get some icing sugar and some water. Make that into a slurry and put that over it. That'll add to the orgeonté, as the cadere, as you say. And he's like, "Who's that?" He is part of my cadere, my good sir. So you know, it's artistic. It's artistic. I'm trying to find this. I'm actually almost at this page. I've just got to go through a lot of anti-moon stuff. Yeah, here it is. Do
you think they'll ever recover from that moon 6, shot? From
page the moon 122. Yeah, so that's where it says Angron, and there's a big portion on it of what he talks about. The World Eaters and their armored reserves and whatnot. It's a pretty big piece, so... Yeah, but if you're interested in that, definitely go check that out in Black Book 6.
Yeah, Black Book 6. I don't think they're ever going to recover from Bod getting moonstruck, right?
It was only like...
It was like the ultimate...
thousands of dudes.
It was like the ultimate friendship
It's
planet.
A drop in the water.
Like, they all were like, got together and they were running some shit. And even though some of them were like frenzied fucking killers, everyone was getting along and they were producing fucking more frenzied killers for the war. Right. Yeah.
So somehow during the Battle of Bod, there was a lot of animosity between each other. So when the moon started coming down, Audax, New Gun clans, the World Eaters, and Sarum all started killing each other as well. So it's just like, it's just your fault. Why don't you both shut up? And it's kind of just a carnival of carnage all the way to the end, right?
That's fucking sweet. Yeah. And like, see, shouldn't that be reflected in the allies chart? They would never ally with Iron Hands, for example, like traitor Iron Hands, right? They would just be like, "Hey, you fucking killed Bod. Remember Bod? Teardrop." You know, like there would be all of that. That's like a big like black day for their legion, if you know what I mean. So
okay,
I don't know.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm gonna have to read this part. This is because people aren't gonna believe me. And anyway, Black Book 6, which is the only true source. The World Eater's Armored Reserve is an example of this phenomenon and inductive of the shifting tactical doctrine, or perhaps the increasing abandonment of such, prevalent in the Legion throughout the period between Isfahan V and the end of the Shadow Crusade, as World Eater's battle doctrines became ever more focused on direct infantry assaults. It remained nonetheless crucial to maintain a strong reserve of armored vehicles that could be mobilized to support such mass assaults. The Legion's fief would World of Bod, BODT, was the base of one of the such reserves armored units. Its vast armored silos host of many hundreds of Legion war machines of every possible class, as well as cadre of reserve crew members able to train new crews and to operate the machines if called upon to, at short notice, to mount the defense of their base, as happened when the city of some long-ass word was assaulted by the forces of Ortek Mor. That really doesn't push towards my thing, does it? Where is the part where it says Angron tells them?
Well, we know that they got moon slammed all those tanks, so they don't have that reserve anymore.
Yeah, true.
Goodbye,
anyway,
unlimited reserves of every different kind. You just got
I hope they make
slammed.
a book of Bod. That would be sweet. An army campaign book. I'd like to see that.
All about Bod, like for the new edition, you mean?
Yeah, 2.0 Bod.
Just add more
and
like
the World Eaters win.
Units and stuff.
Rewrite it, and World Eaters win. They just shoot his guys. They just shoot his stupid ship out of the sky. Winning.
Add more fucking Autist more shit. Like give him more stuff, more different termies and stuff. Red claw termies and shit. Ooh, could be good. Wouldn't it be too painful for you reliving Bod the second time if they did a second book all about it? I guess it's like their Prospero, right? It's like the World Eaters Prospero.
Yeah, the heresy to me is just Bod, man. World Eaters definitely. I identify with the World Eaters.
Well, I'm glad I'm making an Iron Hands force so I can actually ever play a game with you then, because that's basically it was only Iron Hands, wasn't it?
You gotta print your venue with your 3D printer, and then I'll come and have a game.
I need to make a model for August Moore then. August, what's his name? August.
Oh, you don't wanna play him. You don't like the Red Talons, though, do you? You think they're weirdos?
No, it's not like that I don't like them. It's just I've got my own fluff for my Iron Hands that they're like outside of the clan thing, because they were like early sent away to work with the Order of Doctor, like super early in the Crusade before they found Ferris. So they're not like part of any clan. They're more like just they work with the Order of Doctor a lot.
Oh, there you go. So with the coming tide of the Red Talons on Bod, however, the entire reserve held there was destroyed, even though the crewmaster cadre that manned its vehicles mounted a fearsome and determined defense that, though they were doomed, reaped a heavy toll on the loyalist invaders. Take that, loyalist invaders. You're the worst, bro.
And to represent that cat, you get no benefit to your land raiders. That fierce resolve has to be entirely due to the luck of the draw and your tactics, your personal tactics.
You know another word for invaders? Colonizers, right? Think about it that way.
Well, why did the loyalists think it was going to be a good swimming idea to keep with the loyalists when they know what happened to the Thunder Warriors, right? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's going to happen to the legions. Just you fulfilled your purpose.
Maybe.
Go die now. I think that's a little
I'm not so
unfair
sure they would have been like
everything.
Not all of them, at least.
Yeah, probably the Dark Angels would have gotten to stay around, and his precious golden OP boys. Get out of here. I refuse to play custodes against custodes. My world eaters do not play against custodes. Please stay away from me, custode players.
See, just another reason to be a loyalist, Cat. I think I've basically convinced you. There's like 2 or 3 reasons why you should be a loyalist.
No, what? I'd rather die.
Loyalist world eater. Warhounds for life, bro.
The vehicle.
Oh, so you're all about bot.
On board, it didn't die against.
So are you going to do tanks now? Given this,
to play freaking loyalists, my dude.
Given this new revelation, are you going to do tanks? Are you going to do predators and shit? Because my army is going to have a bunch of tanks.
What's the most world eatery tank?
Kratos, probably, right? They'd have lots of Kratos there in that strategic reserve.
Hey, if it could shoot Phalanx blades, I'd be all over it. But unfortunately, that would be a cool vehicle, though, right? A rhino, it just shoots Phalanx guns at you when it gets angry. It's like a sword gun. A gun that shoots Phalanx blades. Be sick, right? No one else knows how to pick them up for some reason. No one else has them.
Let's jump the shark. I think we've jumped the shark.
It's like, yeah, still makes more sense than the fucking Kratos.
Yeah. Hey! Don't you spit on my angel baby Kratos? I've got twins, and they're twin Kratos.
I'll fight you. I'll try and destroy angel baby Kratos. 13, is it? With freaking rending 4+.
14, bro. Yeah, well,
14, isn't it?
Good luck. Good luck trying to get through. They would just scrabble at my sides of my Kratos as I just run over you back and forth making pie.
Bring it.
Free HK. Alright. We're out. Next episode will be the Iron Hands, and it'll be the last of the Legion episodes. Fully painted is for closers.